Oh me, oh my. It is Saturday. The Saturday before Valentine's Day. Jesus. Should I sing a song, Jason?
No. Just start the podcast off like you normally do.
We're starting it. We have begun. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of the Don't Be Mad podcast.
Why are you saying it so sensually, as if it's a...
I literally just said it is the Saturday before Valentine's Day. And if you booed up, I hope your plans are aligned and you're ready to get everything you need.
Gonna have to put this on late night or something like that for just...
You gotta dim the lights to this. You gotta get a little bit of that saxophone in the back. That
Bill Clinton saxophone? Dude, copyright. I don't want to get...
We can sing it. We can't play it, but we can sing it.
You can do that. I'm gonna stay over my corner on that one.
Never want to dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm.
We're gonna have to edit all this just to make it sound good.
Yeah, that is
make
sexy.
it sound good.
Oh, I can hear it. It sounds good. I like that. All right, all jokes aside, welcome to the Don't Be Mad podcast, your weekly dose of the two brothers just kicking back, talking shit, and trying not to piss you off on your commute or while you're at work. Today, we have a special guest. I don't know why people want to be on this podcast, but thank God they do, because there's only so much I can talk to Jason to one-on-one. We got my boy, my homie, my brother, Alan in the motherfucking house.
What's going on, my people? What's going on?
It's poppin'. How you doing?
Just here, enjoying this crazy weather. You know how we do.
First things first, it's been a long-ass motherfucking time, my brother.
Yes, it has.
Good to see you. Good to see you still.
In.
You looking good.
Thank you, my brother.
Sometimes you don't see some people for a while, then they show up and you're like, God damn, I need you to put down the motherfucking Cheetos. Okay, I know Nutella's good, but stop eating it straight from the jaw. No, my man came, he looking good.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's give everyone a little overview on Alan. So Alan, tell us about yourself. Well, we know what you do.
Let the people know
what
you do.
Well, I've been in the game now. Like, I've been DJing in Montreal now for Jesus. As far as I remember, I'm like 35 now. So going back to when I was like 18, all the good old days where music was music and not this shit that we listen to now today.
Well, you don't like that? Yeah.
That way. Which way? That way.
Saseta.
I can't do this mumble shit. Like, seriously. You got a 3-year-old, give him a mic and he can become a millionaire before I do. That don't make no sense to me.
Hey, if we can do that, I got some nieces.
That's what I'm saying.
Just give them a beat.
But look, I'm not going to start jumping to topics. All I'm going to say is straight up, like, if you see these young cats listen to music that we used to listen to back in the day, that means that we must be doing something right.
Hey man, we've become our parents when it comes to this.
No. I'm sorry. I looked back at that.
We got to accept it.
I had my first daughter when I was 21. So I can actually sit back and be like, okay, I need to actually reflect on what I did when I was that age and try and like be on the same page as my daughter. But at the same time, I tell my daughter straight, like when I was growing up, I listened to some of the old stuff, but my daughter listens to all of the stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s.
This is what I was impressed about.
Yeah, but you're also a DJ.
But listen,
you're shoving it down.
But listen,
like you're making sure. You will listen to Ja Rule in this motherfucking house.
But listen to this. No, we were at Alan's place for New Year's, and I was talking with his daughter, and she knows all the old school tracks.
That's beautiful,
and that's good parenting right there. that is perfect.
I'm glad to know I'm doing something right.
No, because it's like they're not gonna grow up with like if I have kids, I'm gonna make them watch the old school Ghostbusters. I have a video cassette. I don't know how I'm gonna get a video player anymore.
Yo, I got one in the closet right now if you want it.
Dude,
convert it.
Amazon, man, they got everything.
Nah, it's too much to get a video cassette player. I'll just convert it.
Dude, not even.
I'll just convert it.
No, but hard. Or Kijiji.
But yeah,
guaranteed.
So, Alan, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I no longer do the club scene like I used to. I'm getting kind of old for that. And statistically speaking, they say that as of the age of 38, you're not supposed to be in clubs anymore. I'm climbing up that ladder real damn quick. So,
yo, don't you know 30's the new 20?
But yeah, you know me. I still love my music. I spin my new school. I spin my old school. And I'm just doing me. Doing me, taking care of the family.
That's good, man. That's good.
Man. That's good.
Glad to hear the kids are doing well.
It's good that you're doing well.
Blessed.
Keep it up. I've known you for years now, so You've been doing this for like, I know you're not gonna stop anytime soon. So
Nah, I'm out here grinding.
yeah, so I know you're not gonna stop.
I'm out here grinding.
So just keep it up, man. Because if you're always working, that means you're always doing something good. So just keep that up, man.
Means a lot, y'all. Means a lot.
Yeah, man. So let's get into little topics. You're here to join us today, so say whatever you want. There's no limits to what you can say unless I could get sued for it and I have to pay for it.
Nothing incriminating, please. No snitching.
I'll let you
We
guys
Troy
lead. I'll let y'all lead.
Last
I think
episode-
that was my first podcast.
Last episode, I had to bleep out some stuff because that would have been a lawsuit in the
There
way.
was
we
three,
like
four
to make it
podcasts
hot.
that I was like, yo, I wish I was there for that shit.
We like to make it hot, but we can't make it too spicy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? White people still got to be able to digest.
That shit could have been crazy. All right, man. So let's get into the topics for today.
Well, let's start light. Let's start with something that's like a layup. Phase on love, man. Like, we all love Chappelle. We all got we can all go back in time and remember a moment in Chappelle's career where he said something that's resonated with us or affected with us,
Mm-hmm.
And we say this as three brothers in a room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Phase on love goes on the Breakfast Club, and he's just talking mad spicy about our man, our guy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that, man.
The thing with Faison, I like Faison, the stuff that he's in. He's funny. He's a real funny comedian. But he's known for doing that kind of hater stuff. That's why a lot of people don't take him that seriously. He could have been a really great comedian, but because of stuff like that, people say he's a hater, either if it's for Chappelle or whatever it is. But they know that's his type of personality, and he doesn't apologize for it. So
Also,
it's a love-hate thing.
Let's clarify exactly what it was. Okay, so as I said, Phase on Love, he was on the Breakfast Club, and in the conversation, it was brought up about Chappelle and his recent success, and Phase on Love essentially said, all of Chappelle's success is attributed to white people, and how, verbatim, he said, niggas don't laugh at Chappelle's jokes, which stupid as shit.
False.
On top of it, he said he didn't deserve to get the $40 million, which was a lie. He got $60 million, and also saying how the first season of Chappelle's show wasn't funny, and that nobody remembers any skits from the first season. That the Chappelle show only got good when Charlie Murphy joined the casting in the second season.
I have an issue with that, but we can come up with that later. Though.
Yeah. So essentially, these were the main shots that he took at Chappelle, which naturally got the backlash of people being like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" As far as Chappelle goes, whether it's going as far back as Half Baked, or you're going towards his stand-up comedies, Killing Them Softly, or you're going to Chappelle Show, or even what he's been doing recently with the 4 Netflix specials. How exactly are you going to say the only reason he's big is because of black people?
Well, I don't know. Go ahead.
What I'm gonna say on this, because I know Faison from all the comic movies, Three Strikes, the gangster stuff, whatever the case is. But I'm one of the type of people that if you're gonna come out at me, make sure you're doing something better than me.
That's right.
And I've never seen Faison with his own stand-up yet. I've seen him partake in stand-up comedies, where you would have some of the greatest and some of the upcomers, and he'll be part of that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Faison hold down his own show.
Because he can't. He can't.
I'm not saying he can. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I've never seen it happen. That's just where I'm going to leave it, because Chappelle, growing up, we all grew up on Chappelle. Mm-hmm. Whether it was 100%. Half Baked, whether it was the Chappelle Show, it doesn't matter. We all know Chappelle, and his comic relief was great because, like you said, it affected everybody in some form of way. Not only black people, but he was the first to actually step out the box and on TV, before midnight,
after everyone.
Yeah,
everyone.
He really brought a really risky form of comedy to television that we hadn't seen until the Boondocks came out afterwards.
I can say right here now that anybody who's listening to this who has not watched Chappelle Show, all I have to say is racial draft, and everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But even then, who hasn't seen the Chappelle Show is one thing that I got asked, because especially him saying how it's whiteness that white people that it attributed towards his success. I'm, as a black person, put so many people onto Chappelle's show. Like, black person saw it and was like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. People need to see this shit.
Yeah, man.
But to be honest, it was a white person who put me on the Chappelle Show. I'm not even going to lie. I knew nothing about it until my white friends were telling me.
Like, and the one thing that I find ridiculous about it is, like, you're going to say how, you know, the first season wasn't funny. Like, then that's a slap in the face, not just to, like, Chappelle, but also his writing partner, Neil Brennan, who is a hilarious comic, had a hilarious and powerful stand-up. It was a 3 mics on Netflix. And then you have also Darnell
Rollins.
A rich bitch.
Darnell Rollins is funny as shit.
If you ever hear
essentially,
Darnell on the Breakfast Club, oh my goodness.
You're literally saying some of the 3 greatest comedic minds, writing comedic minds in a room are not funny for a whole season. Then how exactly did they get a season 2?
You had Charlie Murphy on the show. You had Bill Burr was on the show too.
Yeah.
Bill Burr was on the show.
Some of the greats have been. I'm quite sure Patrice.
I'm gonna go home right now and watch this whole season all over again.
Patrice was on the show.
I got all the seasons right over there. We can watch them after.
You just don't know. But it's like a lot of things came out of the Chappelle Show.
Yeah,
but look,
Patrice O'Neal was on that. It's a whole bunch of people.
Let's diffuse the fire of what Faison is saying. If in fact that the first season wasn't good or wasn't funny for black people, he still came out with season 2, which was bomb. So you know he didn't just give up because of what somebody else was telling him. And then we had the Lost episodes where they came out with a full DVD racked up of episodes that were not even aired on TV.
Yeah, that basically got left on the cutting room floor.
So, Faison, in respect for Dave Chappelle, I'm mic dropping you one time because
and legit, man. Like, because I look at it like this:
just being a hater. That's all.
That's exactly
for anybody in any form of entertainment. The way to success isn't through one demographic. It's all about you have your base demographic, and then you find out ways to expand into the other demographics and have them feel not necessarily included, but
welcome.
Yeah,
they can actually
and have
deal
them
with
expand
situations.
Your fan base. So for Faison to make it seem as if Chappelle having a white fan base that boosted him outside of the black demographic that he already had, that just shows the greatness that he is. Because all it says to me is, Faison, you never found a way to get your comedy to resonate with people outside of the same color of your skin.
Consistency, man. I've always been saying the thing with comedy, you got to be consistent and you have to always keep doing it.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people don't agree with what Kevin Hart has to say, he's always... I'm
gonna get on his ass after. I'm gonna get on his ass after because, like, I don't even bring Kevin Hart.
We'll get there after.
But essentially, to what the bigger overarching point that I'm trying to make here is it's ridiculous to downplay someone's success because they found a way to reach people that you haven't been able to reach, or maybe you're too uptight to go out of your comfort zone and reach. Because Chappelle found a way to make his comedy about his life transcend to not just the black community but all communities, which is why he is a worldwide name.
Yep.
Outside of America, who the fuck knows Faison Love?
True.
But not only that, do you think that maybe because he doesn't know anything beyond his comfort zone is the reason why he stays in his comfort zone?
Oh, 100%. Like, anytime you see somebody who essentially looks down on people because they can break out and, like, essentially burst that bubble and be bigger than something that is expected of them, the person doing the hating is simply just jealous because they haven't been able to figure out themselves. And it's sad to say because I do find Faison Love funny. Like, I've watched some of
he's
his
hilarious.
and I've laughed my ass off at his shit. But for you to essentially stick your foot in your mouth here and attack somebody who's literally at the height of the game, like, and look at this. Chappelle gave us 4 hours of comedy in what, 2 years?
Not very many comedians can do that.
Like, there's not many comedians out there that can literally give you 1 hour a year, let alone give you 4 and 2. That's a lot of material.
Not only that, it's after they found out that Chappelle's gone. How many people tried to replicate what he did? And
Key and Peele,
like Key and Peele, yes, but it's not really him. I was thinking about. What's that? Not Mario Lopez.
Carlos Mencia.
Joke
Thief.
He ran with that as far as he possibly could.
But they caught him and
they ended it.
But that's the thing, like,
but there's nobody else who can do what Chappelle did. Chappelle can come back right now, throw up a season, and it's done everybody.
Of course.
You can, but I don't think you have to find who's gonna. Well, I don't know who's gonna pay him that money now. What he's gonna be asking for.
I don't even think it would be a matter of money. He could just do it, put it on Netflix.
Yeah, you could do a show on Netflix.
But not even that. I think that Chappelle, when you saw the last 3 stand-ups that he did, and what he's trying to convey in his messages and his comedy, I don't even think that for him right now, if he would have ever come up with a season, would be about the money. I think he would do it mainly to get a message across for the love of it, get his message across, and for comic relief, because he even says this is what we need right now.
Yeah, no, and I agree with him.
He's a smart dude, so he knows how to approach it.
All right, so
let's go on to
let's stay in the comedy world. And recently, Gary Owen put out a very, very spicy video to our girl Monique after she went after Will Packer.
This is one of the 3 episodes that I wish I was on when it came out, because Monique, I love you, but I got some words for yo ass.
All right, let's run it right quick.
You're gonna play it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I feel like it needs to be played.
We can put that audio up.
Man, Monique don't stop. She blames everybody. It's Oprah, it's Tyler, it's Lee Daniels, it's Netflix. Now it's Will Packer. She went too far when she started blaming Will Packer on shit. That's my friend. That's my homeboy. Will Packer's done more for black actors and actresses than just about anybody in the last 10 years. I mean, he is basically showing Hollywood that black movies have a mainstream market. I mean, Takers, Think Like a Man, Ride Along, Stomp the Yard, Girls Trip. I mean, the dude is basically changing the game, and now you're going to say he's against you, when honestly, he put you in a movie Almost Christmas when nobody was putting you in movies, and he stuck his neck out, and he went to bat for you, and now you're throwing him under the bus. I'm not going to sit back and let you slander my friend's name like that. Will Packer is a good person. That's a good brother, man. He helped change my life, and I ain't going to sit back and let you slander his name, Monique. Sometimes you got to take accountability for yourself. It's you. It's you. What can you do to change things? Stop blaming everybody else for your shit, man. Come on, Monique. Shit's getting old.
There you go. He's not wrong.
I'm gonna let y'all have first dibs on this one.
It's true. He's not wrong. He's not.
Let me start by saying this, because after we had talked about like the whole Netflix situation when it first came out, I honestly wanted to get like a good follow up once like more information started to come out, like when we heard from Netflix side, or maybe like heard more from Monique, depending on like how the situation was developing after the fact of her first video. The way she's been going about this, I've said on my social media, I feel it's very millennial. It's very much like you have a situation where you're trying to negotiate money.
It's not my fault.
And rather than you sitting down in the meeting, getting at the table and trying to come to some type of agreement where in a meeting, you can compare your numbers to other people's numbers. That's perfectly fine. That's clean, because that's essentially what happens in any industry. Like it happens with athletes. It happens with actors. Obviously, it's going to happen with comedy. But for you to then go out and basically say, oh, Amy Schumer got this, Chris Tucker got that, blah, blah, blah. And like you're like naming all these people out there on your Periscope.
She's just burning bridges, man. That's all it is.
Exactly. You're burning bridges. And like I said, I wanted like a bit more information to come out before like I really gave like an in-depth like perspective on this. And one of the main things that happens to be like the common denominator in all this, it's that her husband is her manager, and he's a terrible manager for what he wants for her.
It's not. I don't even think it has
anything
to do with the manager.
I didn't even know that.
It is because when the situation with Will Packer happened, there were emails that were released, like that Monique had released.
Okay.
And reading them, everything is about the way the husband is a bad negotiator, where essentially if he goes in with a number and if the number's not respected, he's just like, you know what, screw you, and like basically like shit hits the fan. He doesn't know how to barter. He doesn't know how to like come to a common ground where it's like, all right, if you go low, I'm going to go high, then let's try to figure out the best way to meet in the middle. He's been representing her terribly and bringing down her style, but rather than her taking accountability for her career and realizing, look, this current situation has not been working for me, and it seems to be a common theme where every time he goes in to negotiate for me, people come back and saying, nope, we can't work with you, like, you're not being reasonable and this is not going to work out, rather than her being like, you know what, I love you, but I'm gonna get a professional.
I think she should just stubborn.
this.
I don't even think it has to do with the husband, because
And
she has the power to say whatever she wants. Because in the end, it's her decision regardless. He's coming back with numbers.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna basically give the bottom line to your husband and be like, I trust you in doing this, and he's not doing you a good service. If anybody else with any other manager who's basically doing them an injustice, you're gonna get rid of the manager.
Okay. Yeah, but even if she gets rid of the manager,
I find that's
burn bridges.
I think that's irrelevant. Okay, let's go back to the original podcast where you guys were talking about this and how. I agree that Monique has done a lot for a lot of comedy and for black female comics coming up in the 80s and the 90s. I'll give her that. And decorated is a very large word to use. So I don't believe she's the most decorated.
She's not the. She is decorated, but not the most decorated.
Exactly.
She tried to say she's the most, but you're not topping Whoopi Goldberg. Let's be honest here.
No, you can't. That's one. And at the podcast, you pointed out that she got a Grammy for Precious,
being the worst fucking mother of all time.
Oh, that's besides the point. She played the role. She deserved it. It was an extremely good movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Has she won anything else for any of the movie?
Nope. She hasn't done anything else because of that.
Okay, hold on. No, I beg to differ, because you see a lot of black actors play a lot of different roles.
I'll tell you why it was because of that. Because when it comes to the Academy Awards, there's a lot of behind the scenes politics that go into play. I
say fuck them all.
When she was nominated for it, she literally went on an active boycott and was saying how she's not going to do any promotion for the movie. She's not going to do any interviews or anything like that would essentially help what the movie has done for her. Like, you get nominated for a role in this movie, the least you could do is go on the press runs, do the interviews.
It's like me being a DJ for a party and not promote the party.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So she goes and does that and then wonders why people are like, well, if you're not going to do your due diligence after we literally just gave you a nomination, which ended up being a victory, how exactly do you expect anybody to feel like they can work with you if you're not even going to work with yourself?
Well, it's not only that, and I've always had respect for Monique, but she already, like they said, she already has 2 strikes against. She's a female and she's black in America, so she already has 2 strikes. But look at Wanda Sykes, and the reason why I want to point out, because Wanda Sykes said it best. Monique, they offered me less money than you, and nobody knew about it. You say no.
Yeah.
Thank you for the offer, and you take your business elsewhere.
Exactly.
She didn't have to go on this rant talking about how you gonna boycott Netflix.
That's exactly why I say she acted like a millennial. Because and who the fuck in this world is gonna, especially when we're all cutting cable? Who the hell is cutting Netflix?
Especially us in Canada. We don't have Hulu. We can't use Hulu over here.
You know what? We're gonna use Crave TV.
Forget all that. I'm just sick at the fact that she feels entitled.
Yeah.
Like, this is 2018. You don't get shit handed to you. You either work for it or you just watch it go by.
Especially
bottom line.
When you see a lot
Amy Schumer, like you said, was probably
Trash.
the worst stand-up comedy that I've seen on Netflix. And trust me, Chris Tucker wasn't far behind.
No,
Chris Tucker was not far behind. But
she put the work in.
She put the work in. It wasn't her work.
I guaranteed Chris Tucker went and did an audition because he hadn't been doing anything for a long time. And if Netflix was willing to give him that money, he must have put on a really good audition, which is why I'm shocked he gave us that half-ass special.
Cracked out Cat Williams. Even his comedy. Like, American Hustle. Come on, man. That was funny as hell. Yeah. It wasn't remotely what it should have been, but it was funny.
The reason why these people got their stand-up because Monique didn't want to put in the hard work. Like, for example, Cat Williams, I know he was on tour. He may have not publicized it, but he was still doing his tour in clubs and stuff like that. Monique has not done that in years.
But that's it. She's no longer relevant.
Yeah, she's not
relevant. And just for fun.
No one cares.
Just for fun. Go to your white friends and say, do you know who Monique is?
No, they probably wouldn't know.
I actually said, like, after that podcast, I said, you know what? Let me just do some testing on my side. I talked to a lot of white people. Most of my friends are white. A lot of older people, talked to younger people, and I could say 93% of them don't know who the hell Monique is. So how are you telling me I need to give you more money than anybody else on Netflix, and I can't even find in my own personal circle who Monique is?
So it is, man. She's not
It's a shame, man.
not relevant. She's not in the media. She's not anything, and no one cares. And I'm sorry, Monique, but if you want to like get paid like them, you got to put in the work.
It's done. She can't. She can't now.
Oh yeah,
She's
now,
burnt.
well,
She
now
burnt.
she burned
Like I said,
bridges. She's not
when you take your negotiation out of the meeting and you put it to the public, now everyone's going to be looking at you like, I can't hold these business conversations with you. Like you hurt your bottom line by doing the exposing and the canceling of things. Like, no, like, you're a professional. Approach the table like a professional. And if we hand you a number you don't appreciate, tell us a number you do appreciate, and then let's work it out.
Yep.
But not only that, what you're going to do to get to that number.
Exactly.
You can't be just saying like,
if all she had to do was give an audition, and look, in show business, people audition all the time.
I've seen Wanda Sykes. Okay, Wanda Sykes.
She's fucking hilarious.
She is hilarious. But not only that, you see how humble she is? She already has one strike more than Monique as being a lesbian. So she's black, she's a female, and she's lesbian, and she's funny as hell, and she actually respects herself, and she respects the game. Monique lost it right there when she went to do this public service announcement. Like, she's now like working next to Trump, talking about how we need to boycott Netflix. She needs to sit down, have a Coke, and a smile. That's what she needs to do.
All right. Do we want to talk about this possible Martin reboot?
I do, because I have some shit to say about that shit.
I mean, like, we saw the picture of Gina, Martin, and I always forget the other girl's name.
I don't care.
Dude, it's been so long since I've watched Martin.
All I have to say about Martin is like I love Martin is one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Wait, are we talking like Martin? Like Martin?
Yes, that Martin.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes, come
See,
back.
like, as you guys know, I've been working like crazy the past 2 months, so I missed out on everything.
Yeah,
So,
There's rumors of a reboot, and I personally hope it does not happen.
I want it to happen.
I want it to happen.
I love
No,
Martin.
I would like not a reboot, but essentially a spin-off. Or you could do like a present time thing, but a reboot? No.
I say reboot.
No,
I say reboot.
I
In
just-
the term, it means that, like, you know, Martin and Jean, you know, they're getting married, they got their kids, whatever the case is. Like, right now, I love Tyler Perry, but there's only so many shows I can see of Tyler Perry recycling the same thing. Like,
No, I feel like we need more original ideas.
But
Absolutely.
But I think Martin ended way before its time. Because no one knows this, but in the last season of Martin, Gina and Martin were never in any of the same scenes
Well, yeah,
together.
because of the sexual harassment.
Yeah, but this is the problem I have with the only thing with Martin is now, like, you accuse Martin of sexual harassment, and I see now in the picture you're kissing him on the cheek. Look, I was going to say this with Monique. When the
next
money,
week's podcast.
No, when the money gets low, the hungriness shows. That's how it happens. So you know the money's getting low,
Yo, that
so
money
hungriness
talk,
is
boy.
showing.
Let me tell you, like this
money
like, I
talk,
didn't know
boy.
about that sexual harassment thing, but if I were to go in on that, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have a lot of angry people. Like,
Well, the
I'm
name
not
of the
gonna lie.
podcast
Look,
is "Don't Be Mad." So
no,
I'm not going to be mad or look at, or give a side eye about any of that.
I go to meetings now, and I make sure I'm 3 feet from that female, and I stick my hand as far as I can. I ain't giving no hugs. I ain't giving no kisses. I ain't gonna try and compliment you because you are not locking my ass up. I'm sorry. I got a fat bit of feet. No,
That's a bit extreme.
No, but you have to be extreme. You have
Hey,
to think, if you look at it now.
If I was giving
look,
you hugs and kisses before,
like I said,
I'm gonna give you
that's a
hugs and
topic
kisses
for another
now.
day.
That's the way it's gonna work.
That's that's a topic for another day. Like I had some shit come out about somebody saying something that I did, which I know I truly didn't do. And since
don't
then,
incriminate yourself.
no, I'm just like, you know what? Why? Like, I'm at that point now. Like, everyone's talking about how men don't be gentlemen to women. We are scared as shit to do anything.
Fear only lasts so long.
Well, that's exactly it.
Right
But
now,
like I said, that's a topic for another day. So back to Martin.
back to Martin. Back to Martin.
yeah, man. So let the show come back. I want to see it because I love Martin. That show, I could actually sit down and watch a marathon right now.
But you know what?
And
The
go
comedy
crazy.
that was in Martin will not work today.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
I
so.
believe
I
it
don't
would.
know.
No,
I believe it would.
I'll tell you.
I think it
when's
will.
the last, like, you haven't seen Martin in a while. It's a lot of chauvinistic. It's a lot of like.
We see that watching the President of the United States. So yeah, it'll definitely
Yeah.
work today.
No, it won't work. It can work for the president. It will not work in television.
I don't know. I think
the
it will
way everyone
I
is
believe
so sensitive over every, like, if you gender someone. Like, you see someone, like, they clearly visually look like a man, and you say, hey, bro, what's up? And you're like, I'm a female. Now it's a big issue because they identify as female. So the type of comedy that was in Martin will not work.
No, I think
today.
it'll work.
I think
something like extreme, like In Living Color, that won't work. But that will not work.
But you know what? I
will
feel
not
like
work.
a show like In Living Color would work better because you can literally, it's a sketch comedy.
No,
In Living Color, hosted by Dave Chappelle.
No,
that's the only way you get away with it.
Dude, Martin was simply about him making fun of his girlfriend's look, his girlfriend's best friend's look, basically belittling every single person, being the most chauvinistic person in the room. Pretty much everything that's like a no was in that show.
They will. The reason
hilarious.
they wouldn't
won't
bring
work
it back if he couldn't be what it was. Trust me, they would not bring back Martin if he couldn't be how it was before. Because people, the reason what everything you just said was the reason why people watched Martin, because and his comic delivery and how stupid his stuff is.
And I
Brother
promise
Man,
you, it will
in
not
the fourth
work
floor.
today.
The guy just walking in through.
If you want to have 1,001 think pieces after episode 1, where they decide to keep that old style of comedy and bring it,
They'll keep it.
go for it. But it won't work.
They'll
just won't.
They will keep
Picture
it.
it like this: a show like 13 Reasons Why had such a divide, and it's a show about a girl who commits suicide, and the divide on that was so huge. Imagine a show where it just ticks every single
But it's a
box
comedy
of,
thing, that's what people have to understand. This is why people get mad at
And look,
comedy shows.
I'm not saying like I'm against it. I'm just saying, knowing the climate today, it's not going to work. They'd have to change their style up completely for it to work.
No, I don't think so.
I don't believe that they need to change their comic actions at all, because people who look at us, like we're talking about Martin, and there's going to be the generation who's a little bit older than us who are actually remember Martin and whatnot. It's the new generation that's going to have to get accustomed to it, and I personally believe that that's what we need right now. We need to go back to oh my god, that shit was just funny.
I would love to go back to a point where it's like we can, like last week with me and Akeem, where we were just like literally just bantering back and forth, but there was no like animosity or hatred. There's just we're 90s kids, and like this is what the fuck we do.
But you know what that reminds me of? You guys see it?
Yeah, I saw
okay.
it. I saw it.
You see the badgering between the kids?
Yeah,
it was awesome.
But
it was
that's
the
something I would
thing.
love to have happen. It's
you
just
can't have that now. It was great.
You can't, and that's exactly the problem.
Old-fashioned mama jokes, like for real.
Like, that's exactly the problem. Like, imagine just saying a yo mama joke, and then the person looking at you this way, that is so offensive, and I will tell you why. And now you got to stand there for their 2,000-word monologue about why yo mama jokes are just the worst insensitive thing you could ever say.
Look,
regardless of if it's not true or not.
I think the whole thing with the Martin thing is, I think they knew who they're targeting, and they know who their audience is, and they know the old school people are going to watch Martin regardless.
There's not enough of them.
There's plenty. Because they're all still here.
Okay, let's
all still here.
Let's say they do it. If they're looking for that demographic, they're not going to find them through a cable network, because if that's the type of comedy they're doing, no cable network's going to pick them up. They'd have to go straight to Netflix.
And that's not a problem, because the cable networks are now failing.
The demographic of the older generation aren't really on Netflix.
I beg to differ.
Not the way you understand. We're part of that. We're right on that.
We're
borderline.
the taboo. We're like the
we're on
line.
the borderline. The older generation, they're still cable.
They'll watch it. They can put it on both.
Look,
why not put it on both?
They won't.
They're
That's
going to
what
have
they
to.
do.
They're going
That's
to
what
have
they do.
to.
What network is going to pick it up?
There's Gotham is on both. My dad watches Gotham, and it's on Netflix.
Gotham and Martin are not the same.
But he's older than me. He's in his 50s, going to his 60s, and he watches Gotham. Either or, and the thing. That's the
but
thing
I'm talking about
say.
Martin. Gotham is not the same type of show as Martin.
But that proves to tell you that you could put it on both platforms, and regardless of age, people are going to watch it.
If it's that same old school Martin style, what network would pick that up?
What network could pick it up?
TBS. Peachtree.
Yeah, they will pick it up for sure.
KTLA.
Yeah, they'll pick it up.
I know, probably ABC, because back in the day we used to call it the All Black Channel. You remember that? Family Matters.
So essentially,
Different World.
You're saying a lot of the Warner Brothers channels, so like the CW, Because all of those, I believe, are in connection with Warner Brothers. You think they would be the ones to pick it up?
They'll pick it up.
If they're not going to put it on WGN, why exactly would they put it on Peachtree? And considering Peachtree more so,
all those Tyler Perry stuff is on.
They
on
program
Peachtree.
majority of the stuff that they
I think
put
the
out
only
there.
station that has Tyler Perry's Peachtree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but Tyler Perry is digestible to the palate of white people because of Oprah.
When the hell was Martin digestible to the white palate?
He was on UPN.
You didn't answer the question though.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you can't. There's no network right now that will pick it up.
I think Comedy,
If we still had UPN,
I think Comedy Central
would
pick
go
it
there.
up. I think Comedy Central could pick it up.
I know
That's-
BET would pick it up, and
And they're Viacom. Well, same thing. Comedy Central, Viacom, same company. They'll pick it up. Viacom will pick it up for sure.
they'd be the only one that could possibly do it. But I wouldn't even see it with them.
Yeah, I see it. I see it happening.
You have wishful thinking.
I don't.
I
know.
think
If
the
there-
only way it would go is if it went to like a Netflix.
if there's
the only
negotiation
way.
for it happening right now to come back, a network is deciding to pick it up, and it's most likely going to get picked up. That's what I think.
I agree.
Because if you're bringing back Dharma and Greg,
It'll be Netflix.
if you're bringing back Dharma and Greg, which was pure bullshit in my opinion, you can bring back Martin because they had the same. It was just catered to different people,
I
but
don't
it
even,
was
what was
same-
Dharma and Greg? I don't remember that.
Huh? It's isn't that? Yeah, it was back on Netflix.
No, I'm saying I don't remember what that show was.
I don't even remember.
It's one of those shows like Will and Grace, Dharma and Greg, all that kind of bullshit. Friends, all that nonsense.
You're comparing that type of show to Martin.
It's the same thing. It's just catered to different audience. It's the same exact thing, just catered to different audience.
Do you
That's
not
all
know
it
the
is.
climate of people we have today? Like I'm talking about like the climate of people and what is deemed as marketable.
It's not, but you're not marketing to that people. That's the whole reason I'm trying to tell you.
It's not a big enough
It's-
demographic
look,
for
it's
success.
big enough.
I get what Jason's trying to say. Like, right?
Yeah,
I
I get
get
it
what you're
too.
trying to say too. Is that we have to start looking to market to who we want and stop marketing to what everybody wants us to
There
be.
you go. That's it.
When you say who we want, if the numbers aren't there, no one's gonna pick it up.
Yo, Martin had mad seasons.
Back then,
What
when
would
he
change
could
now?
be the problematic dickhead. And look, I'm not saying it as I don't want to see it happen. I'm just looking at this from a strictly logical sense. The only way it could work is if it just goes straight to Netflix. And even then, don't be surprised if it keeps that old style of comedy if it doesn't work.
I don't know.
I think it'll work.
I
We would love it because we would get that old school feel.
look.
But it just... Don't be surprised.
Look,
Like
I get what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
for example, okay, did you see the Get Down?
Yeah.
Okay,
It could have been so much better than it was.
it could have been, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
So that's all we can say. That's all I'm going to say from Martin.
The reason, but the thing about
Dear
the
white
Get Down
people.
that I didn't
Dear
like,
white people,
Dear white
oh
people.
my God, everybody and their mother needs to watch
Dear white people.
yeah, that's a great show because what does it do? It works exactly in the climate we are today.
And it went on theaters though. It was
No.
in theaters. That's why it was able to go on Netflix.
But it
because
works
people
in
saw
the
it.
exact climate we are today. There's so many racial, like, discussions that are
that.
going on.
But that's not today.
But
This,
you know, even worse.
That is today.
it's not only today. Dear white people has everything from
you have the
like.
movie. You have and
But
I get
it's
they
from
touch a
every-
lot of
for the
things.
past 2 generations. It's right in your face.
Yeah, but the thing, especially when it did come out, a lot of the stuff that they touched on were things that happened literally within the last 2 to 3 years.
But I can tell you one thing: the Boondocks. The Boondocks.
Uncle Ruckus,
And
no
the Boondocks
relation.
is worse than Martin. And whatever they've been saying, you had a character, Uncle Ruckus, that said the most outlandish shit anyone has ever heard. And this was
When did
and this,
the Boondocks come out?
Oh my.
it's less than 10 years. Less than 10 years ago.
Like
Well,
it was
we're
early
hitting
2000s,
10 years.
right?
We're hitting 10
Is
years.
it 10 years?
It
We're
was
hitting 10
early
years.
2000s, if I'm not mistaken.
Like
Let
it
me
was
check
about
that
the
out.
Boondocks came out before my. No, we're past 10 years. It's more than 10 years.
Yeah,
Has it been 10
Because
years?
my daughter's 13 now.
So when did it come out? Boondocks.
I'm checking.
Boondocks came out before Chappelle.
No, I don't think so. I think
2005 to 2014.
2005.
2005.
Okay, so that's not long.
It was
ago.
only 4 seasons, so
Just tell me
because there
when
were
did Martin
there were
end?
major breaks in
Martin
between.
ended in like the late 90s.
Okay, and look, that's what I'm saying. Boondocks. And how did Boondocks work? People still could go up, and if Boondocks came out with another season, people would watch it.
In a heartbeat.
People would watch it in a heartbeat.
Not if Aaron
Okay,
McGregor's
so
out
what?
there because the last season of Boondocks was terrible.
But that's the director.
It wasn't
That's-
awful. It wasn't awful.
No, it was terrible.
It was nothing remotely as good as the.
But that's a more director thing. It's not the theme of what it was. It was still always the same. It was just more of a different vision of where it was going. But it was still the Boondocks. It wasn't like it was a spin-off. It was still the Boondocks, and it still worked.
Whoa. So you're gonna notice a bit of a cut there because we had a little technical issue while we were doing the recording. We picked it up just in time, so we didn't lose about like 3 hours worth of content.
Yeah.
But we're back. The show must go on. All right. We were talking about Boondocks, but let's just jump ahead since we said so much. And well, screw it. We're not gonna double back. You want to jump into the Super Bowl, or do you want to talk about Quincy Jones spilling that tea?
Let's just give a quick shout out to the Eagles. Who, congratulations, you guys won Super Bowl. First time Philly got their first Super Bowl. Just I saw you guys tour up the city.
You know, on the podcast, I did say if you're a betting man, you got to go for the Patriots. So I gotta stick with the fact that I mispicked. But you know what? I'm happy for Philly, man. You got your first one.
Well, that makes Tom Brady's 0-3 against the NFC East teams in the Super Bowl. Can't beat the NFC East.
He's 1-4, 1-3. Sorry, because he beat the Eagles.
Oh yeah, you're
before.
right. He did beat the Eagles. Oh my bad. I forgot that one.
He's already beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Brady didn't get another ring. That's real.
Yeah, I mean, like I look at it like this: like his legacy is already solidified, man. You've gone to 8 Super Bowls, you've won 5. I mean, like nobody could take that away from you, no matter what people want to say. You know, like at the end of the day, you fucking did that shit. But for the Eagles, it's like, yeah, Philly's been starving, man, and
they deserved it, man.
Unfortunately,
they played beast, man.
They acted like a hurricane ran through their fucking city, even though it was just their own people being fucking insane. But yeah, man, I mean, celebrate, enjoy. We got one of the greatest, like, Super Bowl pressers from Jason Kelce when he took the podium during the parade and basically just started calling out all the critics and all the experts who were basically doubting them. And like, he had a few people that he called out by name, but then he was calling out all his teammates and saying exactly what they had said about them and basically showing, hey, we're champions now, so they can all go fuck themselves, which, you know, I respected that just as like a competitive person. I feel like that's something I would do myself if I was like up there at the podium after everyone was like shitting on my team. I'd fucking do that shit.
Yep.
All right, we'll do it light. We won't get into like a deep dive because it's such a big article, but essentially, Quincy Jones, 85 years old, has a great interview with Vulture, or on Vulture with David Marchese. I hope I'm saying that name right. Where essentially he starts spilling tea on everything. You know, like he's letting it all out. You know, like Quincy has this like vast wealth of knowledge of music, and David Marchese as well. He's like known for like being like a music historian. So like you're putting the two of them together, and they like Quincy Jones gets into like this comfortable state of just basically telling the secrets that he knows.
He's old now. He can tell the truth.
Hey man, 85 years old. What do you have left to lose, right?
That's it. He's old.
And I know like a lot of people were like freaking out about, because in this interview, like a lot of the people he's speaking on are dead people. You know, like he speaks on Michael Jackson, he speaks on Marlon Brando, he speaks on, you know, some of the members of the Beatles, and basically it just goes in, diving in deep about how, you know, like he's at one point he talks about how like Michael stole a lot of music, but in doing so it helped like raise his craft.
Yeah.
You know, which, I mean, in today's climate of music too, like damn near everything is stolen. You know, like you can attribute anything you hear to like something else that's already been done. You know, it's essentially hard to just come out with something that's completely original and brand new. But, you know, like some of the biggest thing that came out of was like when he was talking about Marlon Brando and saying essentially how he would fuck anything and everyone, like didn't matter male or female.
That was pretty evident. Everybody knew that coming a long time ago.
Yeah, but it was just like
Just look at him.
for him to like
Could have been a contender.
for him to like
self.
confirm it. But then on top of saying how like him and Richard Pryor used to fuck, or at least like bop each other off.
Of course, him and Paul Mooney used to.
Which I believe it, just for the simple fact of like, you know, watching Richard Pryor's comedy, like he would like throw in a lot of like comments of how like being on cocaine makes you do a lot of shit. So that shit is like fuck anything. Like, you know, I've sucked a couple dicks, but I'm not gay. You know, like that's in his comedy. So just like, yeah, I believe it. And like people like having like this huge like freak out about it, you know? Like,
I don't know. Did he go on Elvis? Did he say anything about Elvis? Because I have a lot of shit.
I don't remember.
If he didn't say anything about Elvis, I know.
I don't remember if he did. Because
Elvis was a hack.
I don't think it came up in the conversation because like especially like when he made that like comments about Marlon Brando, and then like the guy like David was essentially like, what? Like, what did you just say? And he literally just like switches the topic to like, do you like Brazilian music? So it's like essentially being like, I said what I said. Let's move on. Oh, it's crazy. It's just like a crazy interview, and like for anybody, like everybody listening, I recommend you read it just because, not necessarily for like all the tea that gets spilled, because even at one point he talks about how like he's known Trump for a long time and how like Trump is essentially like an unintelligent dickhead. And the only reason that comes up is because he also talks about how he used to date Ivanka. Which is like insane. And like, yeah, and because there was a point where they were talking about like his dating life, and he was saying like he would never date anyone his own age. Like, why the fuck would he do that? And like he's known for like having like multiple girlfriends that are like all at the very least like 30 years younger than he is. So
that's Quincy Jones, man.
Dude, it's a crazy, insightful interview. Like, you're gonna get like a lot of great musical stories where he's just like telling you about like the business and like the business as he knows it and as he navigated it. But then on top of that, like you're just getting, as I said, like tea that's getting thrown across the room. It's like if you thought it was scalding hot, now it's in your face. Like it's really an intense, great interview on Vulture. And yeah, I did like one quick breeze through of it just because so many people were talking about it and like just wanting to like embrace the insanity myself of it all. And yeah, it's so worth it.
We have a music expert here. What do you think about Quincy Jones from what you know of him and everything?
I always looked at him as a legend.
I don't know how you can.
You just can't. It's like looking and telling me that Michael Jackson sucks. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, and one thing that like he makes mention, like one of the reasons why he doesn't like a lot of today's artists, it's not because of the music they make, but it's simply because they're not students of the game. Where it's like a lot of the artists back in the day, it's like they, no matter how good they were, they studied their craft. You know, like they were always trying to improve. Like there were certain chords that they could do well, but they wanted to find ways to do it even better and incorporate it to other like techniques that they could do in their music. You know, like another point in the article, he talks about how there was a jam session that was happening that Jimi Hendrix was supposed to be a part of. But then when Jimmy heard about some of the names that were going to be there, he actually didn't want to show up because he was like, he didn't feel like he was up to par with the people that were going to be in this jam session, which is like insane because we look at Jimi Hendrix as like one of the greatest guitarists to ever pick up one. And for him to be hesitant to step into a room with some people, like, that's insane.
Actually, it's not.
Well, I mean, insane in a sense from us on like the outside, you know?
Well, if we were to always have been that way, we would have never got the music we have today.
Oh, of course.
You know, like everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's a superstar. Let me just hop on that," and then that's how their career gets kickstarted. I beg to differ. Like, I would expect that from back in the day because the artists that were coming up in between like the 50s until like the mid 90s, and I'm saying mid 90s very lightly, are the artists who actually weren't bandwagoners. They really loved the craft. They loved the music. Yeah. They did it for pure pleasure and soul. You don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
All we get now is bad and bougie.
Well, as Quincy Jones said, once you do it for the money, God leaves the room, you know? And it's just that understanding of how, like, musicians, like, real, like, bare bones musicians will pick up their instrument in the morning and won't put it down until they're going to bed at night. You know?
Well, yeah, when we talk about, like, pop artists usually aren't musicians. They're good vocalists.
No,
but not some of them. Not all of them.
Not all.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Some of them. Not all of them. Like Christina Aguilera.
Pop
her
artists.
Vocals are
I'll tell you what. Pop artists. Yeah,
chain.
But understand, Christina Aguilera too. Like, she falls into like that category with like the Mariah Careys and the women who essentially are songstress.
That's right.
You know, like their power, their instrument is their voice. That's and for them coming up, it was about learning to be entertainers. A lot of pop artists they're manufactured entertainers. The music is essentially secondary because what they are is a brand to be marketed and to just pump out the hit record every couple months so that the brand keeps going and keeps making money.
That's what these new mumble rappers are, but they don't even last that long. They just last maybe a mixtape, and that's it. They're gone.
But it's a good point you're making here, simply because the fact that as a DJ, and I grew up on every possible style of music, I cannot think of a track that we banged to when growing up that we still don't bang out to today. Like whether it's like hip hop or if it's like Euro dance or alternative, like you can start throwing out some Offspring right now, and I bet you all three of us black people in this room know every damn track off
to this day.
You know what I mean?
If I hear "Feels Like Teen Spirit," I'm gonna jam out. Like I'm gonna mosh.
Absolutely.
It is what it is. Like I don't care where I am. It's like let's headbang. And let's jump in a mosh pit and like enjoy this shit. Like Nirvana did that fucking shit,
exactly.
you know.
Basket Case, Green Day.
Exactly.
Like,
you know?
like the tracks back in the day. Like it wasn't about this is black music or if it was white music. It was music. Bottom line.
Linkin Park was the greatest group of all time. One of the best rock groups of all time.
They're a band.
That was probably, I think, the Collision Course album with Jay-Z happens to be one of my all-time favorite albums.
Oh yeah, dude, that album's so fucking phenomenal.
All time.
So fucking phenomenal. And I mean, like, we need that again. Like, not necessarily from like them, but just like in general, we need that like joining together sounds.
But you won't get that anymore. You won't. It's not only you won't put in the work. If you ever have the chance, go on YouTube and look up the Rick Ross Challenge. I encourage everybody to watch the Rick Ross Challenge. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but in a nutshell, it tells you exactly what and who owns the music industry and what their goal is to do and how it's happening. And it's legitimate. It is factual numbers, and it's very eye-opening. I was mind-blown when this was brought to my attention.
The Rick Ross Challenge.
The Rick Ross Challenge.
I'll check it out. To see what it is. Everyone check that out.
Let me
let us know what you think.
It now so I don't forget.
Let us know what you think.
But yeah, because, I mean, like, staying on, like, this idea of, like, the music industry and, like, real, not necessarily real music versus fake, but just, like, lasting music versus like the pop factory style music. Like one of my favorite things to do is like go on YouTube and watch NPR Tiny Desk like videos where it's like artists are just like in that like small room. They have like maybe 4 or 5 people with instruments, a couple backup singers, and they just sing a couple of their hits. You know, like Thundercat has one of my favorite ones because that dude is just a beast on the bass guitar. And like his songs, I feel are just like they're so groovy, they're so chill. Like they have like a modern funk / like techno feel to it, which is like such a weird wave. Like it's a weird wave, but when you hear it, you're just like, this is phenomenal, you know? Like he has a really good one, and also Tyler the Creator, who's someone you wouldn't think. You put him in a room with like a couple vocalists and just let him jam out, and it's gonna be great. But it's fucking phenomenal. But it's these type of styles where it's like, you have a few new guys out there that are still making music that almost feels timeless. It's just a matter of like going out of your way to find it and not getting sucked into like that pop factory where it's just, you know, if it doesn't pop up in your top 40, you're not going to listen to it type of shit.
If you're an old school cat or you listen to the old school funky flavor from the 90s, y'all need to check out Kate Renata.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people don't know about Kate Renata.
One of my favorites.
A very
today.
Good friend of mine. Shout out, Mike.
One of my favorites today, man.
That brought me on to Kate Renata. I will bump that till I die.
Yeah, 99.9% is probably, in the last, I'll say 10 years, favorite album.
By far.
Because
bang it.
I could put it on right now and listen to it front to back, and it will feel like the first time I listen to it.
But that's the thing. The artists that come out now, you guys will agree with me. There was albums back in the day that when you saved your money.
Yeah.
And you went on, you bought that album. But when you bought that album, you would play that back to back to back.
Purple Haze.
Shelf
Cameron.
life for music.
Super duper fly.
And at the same time, too, it's like because we weren't getting something new literally every day, the shelf life for music had to be high. Like you had to give me an album that I knew I could bump for at least 2 months. You know, like
2
I remember
months? Oh, I
at
remember
least, but I'm saying like at the very least before like the next big artist that you like put something out, because Dude, I could still tell you the very first time I listened to Wu-Tang Forever double CD LP. I know it like to a T. It was in this fucking house when I was like a fucking kid. Like my uncle used to live in here and he bought it, and like he used to let me sneak and listen to hip hop even though I wasn't supposed to, and he put me on Wu-Tang. And I just remember listening to that fucking disc, like the Walkman going, and I was just like laying down beside my bed, not even on the bed because I was hiding, and just bumping Wu-Tang and hearing Triumph for the first time, and just remember just bobbing my head listening to that shit over and over and over, and just thinking like, this is the greatest feeling in the world.
Jay, what would you say was one of your favorite albums of all time? Not necessarily hip hop, of all time.
Of all time? Well, it was one of the first CDs I actually ever in my whole life remember buying. I think it would be Puff Daddy and the Family.
That's a great album.
That's a good pick.
I had Mace. I don't like Mace as much anymore because Betha. I don't call him Mace anymore. I call him Betha.
He is such a Cameron stan that he inherits his beefs, which I don't get.
I don't even know that story, but
yeah. Puff Daddy and the Family and Purple Haze. The reason I like Purple Haze is because it sounds old school, but it has that Dipset flavor, like that at the time, that new school kind of flavor album, that Dipset had at the time.
That's a great album.
That's one of my favorite albums. But Puff Daddy and the Family was, oh my goodness,
I don't know if I can call a favorite album all time.
I can think probably. I'll have to say Lost Boys. Lost Boys. When Lost Boys came out, I swear to God, my mother would beat me senseless because that's when I said, okay, I need to be a Lost Boy. I went and got the pants, dropped below my ass, and my mama was not having that. But I had to. That album is what rocked my life in hip hop. But if it had to be any other album outside the hip hop world, I would probably have to say either System of a Down, Toxicity.
That's so good.
Or
so good.
Smash by Offspring. Those have to be my three top.
Damn.
Outside of hip hop for me, I would really have to think.
I know, like, there's so much music running through my head right now, like it's insane. Because like, okay, for hip hop, I would have to go with two. Like, obviously Wu-Tang Forever.
Yes.
That's definitely.
I would say 36 Chambers first. 36 Chambers has to come before Wu-Tang Forever. I'm sorry. 36 Chambers back to back.
It could be 1A and 1B as far as I'm concerned. like really, like you saying that, I'm not like, no, you're wrong. Like I completely agree, but it's the feel I had, because I always attribute everything to like the feeling, you know, and like
what you want to listen to at that particular moment.
Yeah, but not only that, but like how I remember it and just like what it represented in that moment of like me hearing it the first time. Like I said, like I was sneaking off listening to this album when I wasn't supposed to be, and like just having it just be such a thing that stuck with me. But another album that is a front to back, doesn't matter what mood I'm in, doesn't matter where I am, Black on Both Sides by Mos Def. That album doesn't matter what time of the year, where I am, what time it is, I can literally listen to that front to back, and it's just the shit.
It's not hip hop, it's more R&B-ish. And it's not really one artist per se, it's a compilation, but it's one of the greatest compilation album of all time. The Boomerang soundtrack.
Yes.
The Boomerang soundtrack is one of the best things I've ever heard in my. That was pure New Jack. If anyone knows me, New Jack Swing is my. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. And when that new track with Bruno Mars and Cardi B came out, Finesse, that's pure New Jack right there.
Well,
that's pure New Jack.
I'm trying to think.
I gotta admit though that was an awesome. That's an awesome album. But but before we go to the next topic, I have to say it's probably the most memorable album of all times for me. I don't mean like it's the greatest album, but if I was upset, when I was happy, if I needed just to be grounded, I think the album for me, even to this day, I still jam to it, was Craig David.
Yeah, he had a
Craig
great
David
one.
was really
Craig
nice.
David's album when it came out,
I'm gonna pick for my out of hip hop. It would have to be Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
That's a little much for me.
Yeah, it's a little much for me. But
free.
I
No,
get it. I get
it's
where you're
for
going.
me.
Yeah.
This isn't
get
your
where you're
pick,
going.
guys.
I get where you're going.
But yeah, like my out of it, like that's one of those albums where I, in high school when I was really like testing the waters of different genres, like one of my best friends, Epi, shout out to him, like he introduced me to Metallica, and like between And Justice for All and Ride the Lightning, like I would go back and forth between those two Metallica albums all the time, just like for sports or like working out and shit like that. It's just like to give you that like adrenaline rush in music form. It's like you put that on and I'm literally gonna smash a table over somebody's back and then fucking like run like for 3 kilometers or some shit. You know?
Okay, man. Between me and you, man, I gotta get the mic drop. Man. Rage Against the Machine. Rage.
Oh yeah.
Rage. You cannot get a more of a hype album than that. You go to the gym, you put that on. I'm telling you, you're doing like twice the amount of weight you actually ever do. Rage is the shit.
I was never big a
Boss
rock
fucking
fan
status.
or anything, so I can't really
Boss
give you
fucking status right there.
any rock albums or anything like that.
No, 100%. Like, I'll get, like outside of like Guerrilla Radio, which was like one of the biggest one. You had like Killing in the Name, like a fistful of bullets. I believe was the title of that song. Dude, like fucking crazy shit. And like, given like all the shit that happened recently with like Ferguson and all that shit, their music talked about all that shit.
All right, I found the track outside of hip hop and all that stuff. Interstellar 555 by Daft Punk. That whole animated thing they did, I love. Daft Punk is one of their pioneers in music. When it comes to music sound, originality, they did the whole Tron soundtrack. I was like, wow, these dudes are amazing. That whole soundtrack went like, One More Time and everything like that. That whole series, probably because I'm an anime fan, because I was watching the anime how they're doing it and listening to the music. It's just amazing, mind blown for that. That's
I love Daft Punk, man. I like the electric scene a lot though. So
I actually listen to a lot more deep house, electro house now, more than to any other hip hop, because as a DJ. Like, I know I'm going to get hated on for saying this, but yeah, I'm supposed to play for the people, but I'm not going to sell my soul either. You know? Like, there's a couple, like, honestly, if it would, and that's one reason why I like K-Tronada. You get that beat, and you can just bang into that beat. You know how good Bad and Bougie would be if they weren't singing Bad and Bougie?
Just listening to the beat.
Just to the beat.
That's what I'm saying.
Panda was an insane beat.
The best beat I've heard today in rap is from the freshman... Sunny Digital did the beat. You know the freshman with XX Tentacion, whatever her name is?
Yeah.
And Ugly God, that cypher they did, that was the best beats, and every single one of those rappers messed it up. Every single one of those rappers messed it up. But it was the best beat in hip hop I've ever heard. And every single one of them messed it up. All right, but just end the music thing real quick.
Because we could be on this for another hour.
Just end it real quick. I want, because since you're a DJ and you hear a lot of artists, a lot of DJs and stuff. What do you think about the Montreal artist, rapper scene and DJ scene? What do you think? In personally, what's your take? It doesn't have to say whatever you want. It's on your mind. Just don't. I don't want you to get hated on by people or anything like that.
I've never been I'm not even going to turn around and say like, yo, I'm a hip hop head or whatever the case is. Anyone who knows me, I'm more of an R&B, laid back type of dude. I'll bust.
It's a better vibe, bro.
It's a better vibe. So I'm not gonna sit here and try and comment on something that I'm not familiar with. In terms of the DJ scene, I'm not mad at any DJ out there. Do you? We all had our ups and downs in this industry, but I'm more mad at the club scene. I'm more mad at the clubs than anything else.
That's one question I want to ask you, because every time I go to, like, not every time I go, I haven't been to the club in a while, but every time I've gone to a club, the only tracks I keep hearing over and over are Jay-Z's I'm a Hustler, Niggas in Paris. It's all these same recycled things I've heard 10 years. I'm a Hustler, baby. How old is that song?
It's a banging track. Shout out to Cassidy.
No, but like from not Cassidy's version, like I'm a Hustler, baby. I just want the Jay-Z version.
Oh, you mean Give It To Me by Pharrell and Jay-Z. Okay.
Why do I keep hearing that over 10 years now? And every club is the same thing.
Let's put this into context, though.
Every club is the same thing.
Jason's a bit of a Jay-Z hater.
No, it has nothing to do with it.
We got to put this into context.
Okay.
We got to put this into context.
And this is strictly and solely my opinion.
But it's also Nirvana, Smell Like Teen Spirit. They play that too. It's a
great song.
But it is.
It is, but
timeless song.
Yeah, but you have to move past it to a certain point.
Okay, how do you move past? Okay, how do you get to something
you
that's
can't
not
move
existed?
Past timeless.
You can't. It's not even about being timeless. Name me 10 songs right now that came out in the past 5 years that have been bona fide club bangers.
I can't tell you that because I haven't been.
Name anything from Drake.
Huh?
No.
Not even
Okay.
Drake.
No. I said club bangers. Other than For Free.
Oh, my bad.
But there's a couple of tracks that Drake did that were really good club bangers, but they're not here to stay.
Crazy, because he keeps giving us another one. He doesn't even let his own bangers sleep, bro. Let it have some rest.
I'm telling you, man. Freaking DJ Khaled's gonna sue Drake, man. Another one.
All right.
But all I'm gonna say on that is, you cannot get tracks that are actually classics now like they used to back in the day.
Because there's too much music coming out at once.
But like,
I beg to differ.
It's oversaturation.
If you look at start off in the year 2004, 2006, okay, when it really started to get banging, where tracks were popping out like crazy. You had Rascals, you had Cameron, you had Mace, you had Jay-Z, you had Flip Mode. Like, I could start naming one after the other. But even when they were popping tracks, there were still the odd track that would stay around for a year or two, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, those tracks have stayed around for the 5, 7, 8 years. If you look at now, even the banging tracks don't last more than max 18 months. Max. And at 18 months, you're stretching it long.
because like even like,
I agree with that too.
Like I don't know, just to end this up. Like I personally think every time I hear, like, okay, yeah, Jay-Z, I'm a Hustler with Pharrell, cool. That's everyone likes the song, cool. But during that time, there was a lot of good songs that came out, but it seems like they're only stuck on that specific track. And there's one specific club that does this. I've bleeped them out last.
Let's not
I'm
call no
I'm
names.
not mentioning that. I bleeped them out last.
Tell them cut the check.
It took an effort to bleep them out in the last episode. I'm not going to say it for this episode, but it seems like, to me, the club DJs, not you, because I listen to your music and you don't do clubs, but club DJs who are like residents there, they just play the same tunes over and over.
It's the same playlist.
It's not even,
That's
they're
the
not
problem.
even DJs anymore.
It's not even that they're playing the
It's a
same
playlist.
songs over and over.
It's a
They
playlist.
have like 3 playlists.
And that's it.
No, I'll
They
tell you
just
what it
play
is.
over and over and over.
What it is they're playing it safe.
Yeah.
And if you go to Toronto, like when I went to San Diego in, was it September? I went and checked out DJ Chaos's birthday bash. And I heard some tracks that would make you bounce off the walls. It made me feel like Dome back in 2002. I am dead serious.
I can tell you right now, in this very city, we have an amazing party scene.
We had.
No.
We had.
I'm not talking about the
Past
clubs.
tense.
I'm not talking about the clubs.
Neither am I.
I'm talking about like the underground rave scene that's here in Montreal. It is banging as
Absolutely.
fuck.
But it's underground.
It's not only that.
I'm not saying it's
Thank
bad.
God.
I'm not saying it's bad.
The electronic scene in Montreal is like no other worldwide, hands down, except for Ibiza.
Yeah,
Except for
Ibiza's his own fucking
Ibiza,
monster.
it's like the 800 pound
Ibiza in Germany,
but
like
in
untouchable.
terms of, I'm not even gonna call it pop. I'm gonna call it commercial because it's not pop.
Yeah.
Like
It's commercial. Yeah.
It's commercial. We used to have people come from all 4 corners of the world to party in Montreal.
Yeah.
We used to throw down big.
The clubs, like the regular clubs, were the spot to go and hear shit you never heard before.
I've had people comment to me like, you know what, Alan, you should actually try and do something back in the club scene because you're able to, but I don't think I can. And the reason why is I have old school mentality where the DJ's a DJ and a promoter's a promoter. You pay your DJ a respectable amount of price to do a respectable job.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line. Stop bottom feeding.
Yeah.
I would love to name some of the best DJs who've mentored me and I have watched growing up, who molded me to be like be the DJ that I am, but I'm not going to because some of them are not in the scene anymore simply for the same reason that I don't want to be in the scene.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And
I get
that's
it.
where I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, like, because personally, like I still go out every now and then, but majority of the times when I do go out, it's because it's part of like that underground scene that has not been tampered with. And not necessarily that it has been tampered with, but it's because the people who promote these parties and throw these parties get DJs that aren't just looking to get the immediate top 40 rave video that they could post on their Instagram and go. It's like they're creating their own music, they're mixing different sounds. They're testing the waters. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like they're really and they'll do things on the fly with the crowd. Like if they see the crowd is going to a certain vibe, when they come up to do their set, they keep that vibe going before they even go into their own thing, you know?
And that's what DJs used to do.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's like when it comes to like the club scene, like I said, it's the playlist, and then maybe they change 4 or 5 songs within that playlist, and then they go right back to their old thing because they're playing it safe, essentially, you know? And I feel like I wish that the scene that's out here in Montreal, especially like this underground scene that is thriving simply because it's not big, it's within like its small little community circle. I wish that more DJs had the
resources. It's all.
I don't even want to say resources, but just like have the balls to like just step out there and be like, you know what, let's try this. You know,
I remember
just try it.
I remember, and there's very few DJs that I know that are innovative and would step out the box and do something just to be like, whoa, what the hell was that track?
Yeah.
Yo, that's banging. Mm-hmm. Yo, I gotta go to the DJ what it is. You know, I remember back in the day when, like back in the, I was one, I didn't really stick to the, you know, okay, this is top 50 tracks. Like I would throw in some old school tracks. I throw it, and I was noticeably known to like in the middle of a party where I'm not supposed to just drop some dancehall, drop some soca.
Just do it.
Just do it.
But you see,
just to see
that's
the
what
reaction.
makes you good and makes you different and be a part of.
You know, you
out
just flip that switch once. Just
But
like
if
let them
I
get a
do
sound
that
and switch
today,
it back.
exactly. But that's exactly it. Today, that's what everyone's doing. But they make sure that it's one of the top 50 of that category.
Exactly.
I would go out and like, oh my God, this dropped yesterday. This is banging. This is gonna get me wild. And I would have to be wild in order for my crowd to be wild. And that's how I always did my thing. That going down that path now. I remember. I'm gonna show you. You were there. You were there. A lot of people are gonna laugh. Who, if most of the crew does listen to this, when I say the largest dirty wine train at Main nightclub.
Main nightclub
At Main, that was the club across the street from Orchid, above American Apparel.
Yeah.
Yo, I got in so much heat for that. But
oh yeah, now I remember.
I got in so much heat for that. They never let me spin back in that club again.
But it was good.
But yo,
look at your crowd.
I didn't even care.
Like, to me, but that's what pissed me off. It's like if DJs were allowed to just be fucking DJs and like follow the crowd, let the crowd dictate what gets played. You know,
you can't do that now.
Like you have so many people that are just like these owners, or this is what we're gonna allow. Leave it at that. If the club is banging, it's banging. If it's not, it's not. Like as long as they meet their monetary bottom line.
I went to Omnia in Vegas. Okay, that's my up. Like I know we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up.
No, not wrap it up. Not wrap it up. We're just talking about like music and stuff. But no, we continue. It's
in
good.
Omnia, I went for Lil Jon's, but Lil Jon had a party up there, and this was by far the most lit party. And I mean, I'm not talking like at 2 a.m. I mean like 10:30. I'm sweating, taking off layers. Drinks are flying. It felt like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Omnia back in Vegas, because I've never seen anything that ridiculous. Even when you went to the small room, everybody was just jamming out. It was crazy. So there's the vibe is still out there. You just got to create it. And I just don't understand why everybody has to, well, I'm not saying everybody, but you guys know what I'm trying to say, that we have to stick into a niche where we're not allowed to be creative anymore. Artists are allowed to be creative. And now in this day and age, DJs are more and more becoming artists rather than just people who actually play tracks. Yeah. So we need to be let out of the box and be able to be more creative with what we want to do out there and stop being safe. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man.
All right, so I want Alan to get this is going to be something new, because I know Alan wanted to get into this with Montreal specific, with what's going on in the city specifically. So
we're just jumping from one city topic to the next.
That's right. But this one, Alan said he wanted to talk about. So we're gonna give him. Should we put this as a part of what made you mad?
Yeah. Don't be mad.
Yeah, we can make a part of that.
We can make a part of it, but I know you want to elaborate on it, and we could talk about it. So go ahead.
My mom always told me I should go into politics, and I refused to. I know I'm going to get locked up for this one. Montrealers, please leave the mayor alone. Straight up. Because you let Fat Kader spend hundreds of millions of our tax dollars. She did her best by saying, you know what, she's not going to raise the taxes. But when a lot of things that you guys have not actually looked into before say you guys are not satisfied with her as a mayor in 90 days are already chastising her. But you let this man spend our money. Like, for real. How are you telling me you guys want to blame the mayor for snow removal? Ain't her fault. She just came in. This budget was done before she was there. You know, she's trying. And you can see she wants the best for the city. I haven't seen a mayor in Montreal, furthermore in the surrounding boroughs, want more for their city more than she has in a very long time. You know who the only person I can think of who wanted more for their city was Rob Ford. Crazy bastard, yes.
Crazy crackhead, but he's still
the cocaine.
But you have to say though, he did what he needed to do, and you guys have to stop looking at the person as an individual and start looking at what they're trying to do, and then judge off of that. That's all I have to say on it. Because if I go in, I'm gonna have a mob outside.
No, you can go in because I've always said that.
Take your time, bro.
I've always said that when you, especially if you vote, I think federal politics or federal whatever who you're voting for primaries, that shit doesn't matter. It's who you do it locally. So who your borough mayors or any representatives that you have around you. These are the people that could make the immediate difference in your life. These are the ones that, say, for example, I want to run for mayor of NDG. People know who I am and something like that. People know what I'm about. I think I could have more effect on what goes on in NDG than what the Prime Minister of Canada could have or do whatever. Even if he's from Montreal, I'm sure his job is only Canada.
Because at the end of the day, it's like when it comes to the municipality of NDG, you being the leader of that municipality, you have direct effect on what happens.
And that's why I think people should vote for that more than they do.
And that's the problem.
Federal.
Like people
they don't do that.
Like, yeah, we pay attention to federal so much, but even then, it's like when it comes to our municipalities, like people don't really go to town halls. People don't like go online and even sign up for like the newsletters that they can get for the municipality. You know, at the very least, pick up like the local newspaper that they send out. Free.
Yeah, they send out free
just to leave it by to get a little bit of information of what's going on. You know, and like you'll get in the mail when like a town hall's like meetings happening or when like there's some announcement that's going to be made, but people just ignore it. And then when it comes down to voting again, it's just a matter of, all right, which party lines do I follow? You know, do I like what happened here? Yes or no? But it's not the whole process. Like we care about it for like that small window from like September to November when it's like a big fucking deal. And then when it comes down to like, all right, now these people are in, let's do some follow up. Nobody can be found anywhere. You know?
I think the thing with Kodal, what you were talking about, Alan, is that his arrogance was just off the chart these last 2 years.
Oh yeah,
it was completely off the chart. When you start spending millions of dollars on stone tree stumps, millions of dollars on, I still don't understand why. I still don't.
375 Montreal.
The lighting up a stupid bridge.
I'm not gonna knock the bridge. Okay, the bridge does look nice. It is beautiful, but
is it needed?
But it is.
Is it something that you need?
Taxpayer dollars.
That's exactly it.
But do you need
and from somebody in the industry, I strongly believe we could have done it a lot cheaper.
It's not even cheaper, but is it needed?
Look,
do you really need that?
There's a lot of things that happen across the world where they light up their bridges, whatever. Yeah.
That's
I understand that he wanted to do something in the realm of being like
the 300, the anniversary of Montreal.
But not only that, he wanted to be relevant.
Sometimes you get caught up in the hype too much.
What really made me understand this man was batshit crazy is that this man is the mayor of Montreal, so he had to be living here his whole goddamn life, talking about heated sidewalks. For real? Think about that. We have a hard time cleaning snow. How are we gonna clean ice? And we're paying to have heated sidewalks.
Like I said,
I think heated sidewalks could work if the infrastructure of Montreal was actually built for something like that, or if Montreal wanted to invest itself to do that. But it doesn't do that. Montreal does not do that. They just pass on the problems to someone else and someone else and someone else, and that's how it keeps going with Montreal. Because no one wants to. I think Montreal is a city that no one really thinks of what. It's not a city of people who are leaders and planners. It's just people like say, okay, just do this and figure it out. That's what it is.
Too much of that.
That's what I think the city of Montreal is.
I don't believe it's just Montreal. I believe that's politics in general. And the one time, and like I said, this is my personal beliefs. For the one time that I think that we actually have a mayor who is trying to make a difference, we should actually give her the respectable chance of more than 90 days.
And I agree with that because of the simple fact that she came into a shit show without knowing how much shit was on the wall.
Exactly.
I'll give her a chance.
She was told, yeah, there's some poop on the wall, and then when she turned on the light, realized no, the wall is made of poop.
The only thing I'm probably mad about her is, well, something happened recently in the news. Like there was someone that got hit that was riding their bike or something, and someone did a legal turn on Mount Royal. So now cars can't go up to the lookout, or they can't go up to a certain. That I find that's a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, you could fix, instead of like blocking off complete traffic and making traffic worse in the city than it needs to be. Think about it for a second. Have a good month. See what you can do with the roads. Don't block off access where people want to go up to the lookout.
Yeah, because that road, essentially, it is a way to like defeat of the
traffic.
economy. Because you're thinking of like the time it takes to actually go around Mount Royal versus using that road, which not everybody uses, but for most people who need to go literally from like
rush hour is pretty heavy.
Côte de Neige all the way over to like Saint Laurent, like that's a big gap to be filled. Absolutely. Especially if you're doing it on one road.
That's the only thing I'm mad about her for. But that
I agree with you on that, and I want to see how she's going to address the whole bike issue, because as someone who's athletic, I don't have a problem with people riding bikes, but I do agree that I pay taxes for the roads. I pay extremely high taxes when it comes to my driver's license. But to be told that I must respect a biker and a biker has no respect for the conditions of the road is very brutal. So just the fact that like it's a double whammy with what's happening on the Mount Royal Hill. Like, okay, if you want to take that path, fine, take that path. But let us know what you're going to do for the people who are paying your taxes. Yeah, no,
I agree with it, because I hate the idea of we're automatically assuming there's no responsibility towards the biker simply because you're in a car. Where if you're on the road, you have to be responsible. Even as a pedestrian walking, there are signs put in place for a reason. There are crosswalks put in place, even though majority of cars don't respect them for shit. There's things put in place to protect pedestrian, biker, and driver.
But this is the thing. I think Montreal, let's be real now, Montreal is not a city built for bikes. Like my street, where I live, they put a freaking bike lane, and now it's limiting instead of 2 cars can pass now, it's limiting to one set of cars. So you're artificially making traffic worse for a whole bunch of bike lanes, and an NDG where there's side streets every 2 steps. You're putting bike lanes on main roads. Like, why? There are side streets everywhere. People can get around on their bikes everywhere. Why are you putting more bike lanes in a city that can't handle bike lanes? Like, when they put the bike lane on the Maisonneuve, I'm like, oh my goodness, people are going to get hit by cars. And so many people got hit by cars. It's unbelievable.
The only thing I liked about the bike lane on Maisonneuve is in the summertime I like to jog, so it gives me a place to go. I don't have to jog on the sidewalk.
I do not believe. I do believe there's a way we can coexist. I do believe.
No, 100% there is.
I just think that, and I'm strongly saying it because there's a couple of bikers who I try to give right of way. You know, don't rush them off the road. You stay behind them a respectable distance, but you know there's enough room for them to move over for you to pass.
I just feel like it's come to a point where people on bicycles have to be disciplined with the same scrutiny that people in cars are.
Absolutely.
Because you make a mistake in a car, that could be life or death. You're on a bike. Majority of people in Montreal too don't wear helmets when they ride their bikes.
Yeah, because it's not.
So you make a mistake on your bike, majority of times that will be death or paralysis at the very least, you know? What's the one thing you think you would do when you're on a bike is be vigilant. But I've seen these people when they're riding their bikes, they're like swerving in between cars. They're seeing that the light's red, but they look both ways and just go anyways. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're literally putting yourself in danger, and then on top of that, you're putting the people driving their cars in danger as well. But the scrutiny only goes towards the person in the car. It makes no sense.
I don't know. Like let's hope with the new mayor, like you said, these things change. Because she said she's an avid bike rider and stuff like that. So you as a bike rider and the mayor now of Montreal, you would probably be the best person to handle that situation when it comes to like pedestrians, cyclists, and everything like that. So, like I said, giving her a chance. But
it's all about accountability at this point, man. All about accountability. We got to take responsibility for what we do. If you're a biker listening to this, pay a bit more attention to the rules, respect the rules a bit more, so that way we don't have
move,
so many
bitch,
of these,
get out the way.
No, I'm not even saying like a move, bitch, get out the way, but just, I mean, like
common sense. It's just common
even
sense.
come to a point now too. Like, how many times do you actually see bikers like do the hand signals?
I see it quite often.
I see it, but not as
much as you should. Like, I don't see it with every single person, which to me, it's like, especially knowing if you're going to be in a place where it's like, let's say you're driving down St. Catherine.
Right.
And you see a biker on St. Catherine. How many times have you seen them just like swerve along? It's happened so many times to me where it's just like, all you have to do is like, just do the simple hand signal. Let me know you're stopping or you're going left or right. Like, it's not that hard.
Look, we have a hard time with drivers using signals. You think they're going to do it on a bike? Just saying.
I get that, but I'm more saying this for like the person on the bike who doesn't want to die, which I assume is everyone.
I'm just saying that, you know what, there's a lot of issues that were lingering when Kader was there. The bike issue, the money issue, and the other 1,700 pages of issues that we have to take care of that he left lingering for her. Just give her a break.
Yeah,
like seriously, like you. Like right now, we have to watch the freaking U.S. try not to kill us all, and you guys are complaining about the fact like you guys don't care that the mayor's not doing what she's supposed to right away. Like, what were you guys expecting?
Everything takes time. People don't understand how layover works. They don't understand that when you're coming in, you have to take over the last administration's work before you can implement your own. The get-go. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when you're coming from a negative, you're not going to get a positive in 2 days. Like, not even in a month. Like, you have to give it time. And like I said, you're taking over for the last administration, so you're picking up where they left off with whatever they left off, and then you have to navigate that into the things you wanted to do. So with that understanding, yeah, you have to give it some time.
Yeah, I'll give her time. Like I said, I'll give her a chance.
Yeah, me too. I have a strong belief in her. I really do. Just saying.
All right, let's move on to some happier things. One more week till Black Panther.
Yeah.
Oh, I just gave myself a boner. I am so freaking excited, guys.
It's gonna be a good movie.
I don't have much to say. I just wanted to say
for the culture.
It's 1 week away.
I thought
February 16th.
I honestly thought you were gonna talk about Valentine's Day thing, but
we could talk about Valentine's.
No, we can't. No, we can't.
Just for like 2 minutes. Really.
The missus listening.
You will be.
we'll just talk.
He has a very elaborate dinner planned where there's gonna be wine with some bubbly on ice.
Who, me? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Alan.
Oh,
you know I'm gonna need his credit card number, right? You know I'm gonna need his credit card number.
No, my man. You can just DJ one show tonight and you get to go. Yeah, man. You know, look, it's a good week. It's a good week. You know, I cut off a couple booze because fuck that shit. I ain't dealing with no Valentine's shit. But you know what I am dealing with? Me, myself, and I at Black Panther having the time of my life. Hopefully, ain't gonna be a loud ass motherfuckers in that bitch.
This dude here ruining my time. I thought 5,000 for Valentine's Day.
The thought
that's what he wants.
Is on the way. I'm gonna fold that bitch up nice. Tuck her away neatly.
5,000.
Crazy.
Oh man, I'm so stoked for Black Panther, man. Yeah. And like all the reviews, like usually I don't pay attention to reviews at all. Like if something pops up, I just scroll on by. But even with the scrolling on by, it's like it's so positive that you have groups coming out being like, "Oh, we're gonna go on Rotten Tomatoes and purposefully give it a negative review." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Really? Like, do you really want to point it out, or do you want to wait to the next podcast after you watch the movie?
I was gonna let you say it. You know what I'm saying, man? You know, you're the guest. You can say it. You can say it.
You know it's because they're black. You know it's because of all black cast. You know that.
It's two reasons. It's the hoteps. Can't stand the motherfucking hoteps. Yo, they people. Marvel Studios did not make Black Panther for some black community unknown agenda, okay? I hate to break it to you. It is simply a comic book film that goes into the timeline of all the other MCU movies that have been out to date, plus the ones that are going to come in the future. Do not turn this fucking film. Don't turn my nerd fantasies into your fucking think piece. Why the black man can do better. Why, if we put all our money to the side, we can build the next Wakanda.
You know they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They did it with Star Wars.
Dickheads.
They did it with Star Wars.
Star Wars is bad though.
It's pissing me off. Okay?
Star Wars was terrible though.
As a faithful nerd, as somebody who grew up sitting inside reading comic books over and over and over, but still trying to maintain its mint condition, I hate this shit. Just let the movie be what it is. It's a comic book film. That's what it is. It exists in the Marvel universe. Let it be great for what it is. Don't turn it into some, now black people are above and beyond anything, and this is what we can accomplish if the white man didn't take us away. Stop it. Stop it. You sound dumb, okay? You're making us look bad. Just let this movie be what it is. Essentially, you could say this is what made me mad this week.
Yeah, that's what made me mad.
Because I've been anticipating this film since it was announced. As a matter of fact, even before that. Because I just knew all we needed was the right minds to come together and say, let's get Black Panther out there.
And now that since Disney is buying Fox, he's probably going to get married to Storm now. We
can finally get the stories we deserve. Okay?
Well,
like Deadpool is what we deserve. Deadpool 2 will be
okay. What is going to happen with Deadpool now? Because if
it's going to be great.
But if Disney is buying over,
they're probably going to keep it rated R still.
Yeah, Disney's like
they better keep that shit rated R.
The one thing Disney has been doing very well is they haven't been tampering with the ideas that make sense. DC, they tamper with everything.
Well, that's Warner Brothers. It's more Warner
fucked
Brothers
up everything. Sony, I don't even want to get started with what they did to Spider-Man. But once Disney bought Marvel, like the one thing they did was the ideas that are here, we're going to let them be. Because, I mean, you look at Logan. That movie, for everything that it was just phenomenal, and they let it be great.
Yeah, but it took them how many years? It took Fox how many years for it to make a good I wouldn't even say a Wolverine movie, an X-Men movie. That's an X-Men movie. I don't care what anyone says. It is an X-Men movie.
Technically it's an X-Men movie, but understand something. Technically, Wolverine isn't an X-Men.
But still, how long did it take them?
A Wolverine
how
movie.
long did it take them to make a good movie, superhero movie?
You're seeing now, because of what Disney did for Marvel and being like, just get the right people to make it, and we will give you the money because we know it is guaranteed to make at least $100 million no matter how much we put into it. It's gonna rock. And look, with Deadpool, it was more a matter of them just wanting the rating that they knew the script deserved. Like, you can't make a Deadpool movie and it be like PG-13. Like, no one's gonna die. It's literally like, he's gonna run around with a BB gun the whole time. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't work. So now it's like you're seeing what Disney's done, how it's affecting every other approach to the comic book world, and just letting what it should be as it is. And I'm loving it. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Black Panther is because you have the guy who did Fruitvale Station. He also did Creed. Like, he's a phenomenal director. And you're putting him in this position where not only is he working with people he's comfortable with, but it's a story that, for him, puts him to that next level.
Yeah.
And from, like I said, I don't usually pay attention to reviews, but every review from, like, trusted reviewers say, like, this is what it should be. and this is why it deserves like a 100% because it is what it should be. And I cannot.
I don't know, I'll just watch the movie for myself because a lot of those good reviewers said Star Wars is good. It was the bullshit. That's me.
I'm so mixed on Star
That's
Wars.
me.
I like the direction they're going with it. I just didn't like a lot of the half-ass plotting that they did. I mean, whatever. That we went over.
What do you think, Alan?
We went over that.
What do you think about Jedis flying in space?
She didn't fly.
Look,
She technically used the Force to pull herself
Because we have
to the ship, which she wasn't able to move, but she was able to move herself.
and we've never seen her do anything with the Force before. But
I
okay,
know,
it makes
annoying.
sense.
It's annoying.
I'm not gonna say like I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. You know, like I'll watch it. You know, I enjoy it. I'm not gonna be like here to criticize it though. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I will.
Like I
go in on ya.
The first one I enjoyed. The second one I found it was too long and it was too much fluff.
Are we talking original 3 or prequel?
The prequel, the ones that just came out.
Yeah, you can hate on the prequels as much as you want. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, like I said, the first one I enjoyed. The second one I was just like, the hell am I sitting here for so damn long?
It's kind of what it is, but that's what it is.
But yeah, Valentine's Day, guys. Do you have a date for Valentine's Day, Jason?
No, I don't. Leave me alone with Valentine's.
Ladies, please send us your numbers.
Jason is single and ready to mingle, but he isn't a Christian.
Fuck. I don't do Valentine's Day because I think Valentine's Day are for simps. If you have to pick one day to do something for someone, that means you are either broke
Let the broke people rock, bro. What's wrong with you?
Hey, you know he was coming hard with that. I don't even know why you even thought otherwise.
We don't discriminate against the brokies.
Well, it's not my fault they're broke, man. It's
if you saved it up for one elaborate night of rose petals,
what, to get the same thing I get every day, pussy? Really?
Yo, ladies, honestly though, pussy ain't a gift.
If that's what you're offering, then you need to offer something better.
The only time pussy is a gift is when it's pussy I ain't had before. Okay, that's the only time it's a gift. If we
hold on. Let me ask you this. If you getting some fresh pussy that you never met before on Valentine's Day,
fresh pussy ain't getting treated on Valentine's Day. Let me stop you right there. we ain't trying to shoot from half court, okay? Valentine's Day is for layups.
Hey, Steph Curry, if it was Steph Curry getting those shots.
I ain't Steph Curry, okay? Valentine's Day is for layups.
Now you're the Dwight Howard of Valentine's Day?
Hey, relax. I ain't no Dwight Howard. That bitch ass motherfucker. Fade on sight any day of the week, Dwight Howard. You know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is. Because he hates Dwight Howard.
I hate him with a passion.
Oh my god.
But yeah, man, Valentine's Day, like I said, no man. I think it's for people who are broke and can only afford something for one day. If you could only do that one day.
Hating, man.
I just find it's another day for us to blow stupid amounts of money endlessly.
There you go.
The same rose that you're gonna buy for $3 is now costing you $30 each.
You guys don't do Valentine's Day right. Now, there's this.
It's
as
like
for
Christmas
me, I'm
week.
single this year, so I will be doing the single guys Valentine's Day, which will be me making myself or ordering myself a wonderful meal.
Absolutely.
Getting my favorite bottle of wine, and then either playing video games or watching a movie that I delight. But it's gonna be a me day. Maybe I go to the spa and treat myself.
Well,
get a mani-pedi,
I just find
bitch.
that
I deserve.
I want no one touch my feet and my hands.
I deserve. Okay, I deserve to be pampered. Cater to me, Beyonce.
I just find it's another day that's glorified for a financial gain. Like for me,
But I say for couples, do it right.
Not even couples, man.
But why did
never go to a restaurant on Valentine's Day?
But that's what I mean. Why do you have to wait till Valentine's Day to bring your significant other?
No, I'm not saying. Look,
just,
if you're waiting for Valentine's Day to do these romantic things, you're doing it wrong.
I think days like Christmas, Valentine's Day is a day where you're supposed to stay home and rest.
Well, look,
don't do nothing. Do everything you want to do.
My kids have agreed. My kids too have agreed that last year was the last year of gifts. Like I have a 13 and an 11-year-old. We no longer do gifts.
How
on
did
Christmas.
you spend that one?
Hold on. We no longer do gifts on Christmas. We take the money that we're going to use for Christmas, and put that towards do a family trip in the summer.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean? And it's like we said, if we want, we can continue doing the traditional. We'll buy you gifts. You guys can use it for 6 months and throw it away, or we can actually turn it into an experience. It's the same thing with Valentine's Day. I don't believe that I need to go and spend an extra $500 on food because the fact that it's a Valentine's Day. Screw all that.
No. See, look, even when I was in a relationship, the restaurant thing, I think we did like once or twice. But that was only because like we got hooked up. Besides that, if you want to have like your one-on-one time with your significant other on Valentine's Day and you want to have like a nice dinner, make it together. Go to the grocery store, get all the ingredients you need. Go home,
work, man.
No, it's not.
You got no kids.
No, I said, dude, I get the kids thing, but I'm just saying, like, for people who are in relationships and want to do something that is romantic, creative, and isn't your typical Valentine shit, you know. But I mean, like, this is things that you should be doing anyways
On a regular basis, exactly.
But
Yeah.
do it because it's Valentine's Day. Like, why the fuck not? Enjoy it. And look, you have your kids, make your kids a part of it.
Oh, that's what I usually do.
Like,
I remember one year I took.
I don't understand people who like want to throw their kids away on Valentine's Day just to be like, no, incorporate your children with it. Like, your children should see love in the family, you know? So it's like, do it with them. Like, have them make dinner with you. Like, everybody has their thing to do, which is why I'm saying, like, look, I'm all about making sure the people that are listening have some good ideas. Like I said, go to the grocery store. Get your favorite bottle of wine. Get your whatever you want to make, whether it's
That's
pasta.
too much money already. They can't afford wine. These are broke people we're talking to.
No,
Look. Okay. You know what?
Relax.
Relax. Jay, for real, bro.
That was
for real.
out of line,
Out of line.
What?
Oh,
They're
out of
broke on Valentine's Day?
That was
No,
out of
look,
line.
wine doesn't cost that much.
Dude. What?
Like a good bottle of wine.
I am
is
literally
like
giving
$15.
you the cheap idea right here, because you can literally have everything you need here for like $30-$40 tops.
Thank you.
Hey, make yourself
And
a bag of popcorn.
and that's if like you're buying, like, I'm thinking like steaks, and you're getting like all the things you need for like $30-$40, and you're gonna have like
Steaks?
dinner.
Well, I don't know what kind of steaks you eating, but the steaks that I order, ain't got
No, but I'm just saying, like, cheap, but you
Yeah,
know,
I
like
get it. I
I'm
get it.
talking about the economically sound way of like
I get
getting it done. Like, you don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a dinner you're gonna make at home. Like, no, hundreds of dollars is literally groceries for at least a week.
If you go, if you and your significant other go to McDonald's and they're not happy with that, that means they don't like you, because you should be able to give them anything and they'd be happy
Jason,
with
let me
you.
stop you right there. If I was brought to McDonald's, I would not be happy.
Then you don't like that person, because you should be happy with everything they give you and not just one thing.
And that is bullshit.
Because that means you're
Know your
expecting
worth,
something.
kings and queens.
That means
okay?
there's no worth. Everyone's worth
You
the same.
deserve.
Everyone is
Oh
worth the same.
hell nah,
Everyone
bruh.
is-
Don't even go there.
You're
Everyone's
literally
worth the same.
trying to say going to McDonald's and getting meals at McDonald's is equivalent to you and your significant other cooking a meal together, and then sitting
You should
down
be
together?
happy with whatever you do. Cooking, going to McDonald's, whatever. If you both do it together, that's what counts. It's not what you have. It's what you do together.
Okay, guys.
It's the experience.
Please.
That's what it is. It has nothing to do.
You
guys
can
are
do
too
that at your
materialistic,
own
dog.
risk.
You're too materialistic. It's the time you spend together and not what you do or what you get.
Yeah.
The time you spend together.
I get
so
that.
you can go to
And
McDonald's.
I would rather spend my time with somebody cooking a meal, having a conversation while we're cooking that meal together, and then we sit down and eat that meal, and the conversation keeps going. Because now
So
you're
what's the
doing,
difference with McDonald's
It's
then?
an
What's the
intimate,
difference?
but you're comparing an intimate experience where it's like you and your
to
significant
you, it's intimate experience. That's to you.
To anybody with half a brain,
No,
it's
to
an
you.
experience.
That's your opinion. Because not everyone's thinking the same. Because I'm not thinking the same what you're thinking. It's not what you do or what you have or what you buy, what you get. It could be McDonald's. It could be a $5,000 steak. It's the experience, whatever you do together. And that's what Valentine's Day is. The problem with Valentine's Day is because people don't want to do stuff together anymore. They just wait until that one day to express that. And that's the problem. You're spending too much money on one day when you should be doing the stuff you're doing every day. That way, that's how you build a relationship. You don't do it that one day. You do it all the time. It's consistent effort. You don't put in one effort on one day. You put in effort every day. That's my point.
We already covered that. Thanks for catching up.
But I didn't
What
catch
I
up.
was saying was,
But you're not listening. You're not listening.
No, I am listening, but what I'm talking about is do the experience that is more lasting. That's what I'm talking about. An experience of you and your significant other cooking a meal together where it's your favorite meal, something that you know you're both going to enjoy, and you're doing it in an experience where you're going to look back and be like, yeah, like, you know, what did you guys do for Valentine's Day? It's an anecdote in
You're
itself.
making now you're gloating with other people. You're making a metaphysical
No,
thing.
but
you
I'm
don't have to.
saying
I
do
don't.
something that's lasting.
It's you're eating the food and it's coming out as shit. It's the same thing with McDonald's. It's not gonna last. You're eating. It's what you do. If you're doing stuff together, it doesn't
Ladies,
matter.
I understand why he's single.
How long have you been single, Matthew?
Happily.
Huh?
There's a difference.
No, there's not a difference. That has nothing to do
We've
with
already had the conversation of me not wanting
Well,
monogamy.
I am stepping out of this conversation.
I'm just
Alan's just sitting. Look, Alan was taking notes.
I'm just telling you the
I
truth.
just want to
I'm
put
just
that
telling
out
you the
there.
truth. Like that, whatever you do together is what counts. It's not it's not like, okay, we're
No
gonna
one's
get
saying that what you do together doesn't count. We're just saying there's better experiences in the
to
ways
you.
do things.
To you.
To everybody.
No, you're not talking for everybody because you're saying it. You don't know what the people are hearing. That's what you're saying.
Guys at home,
To
let us know what
you.
you think.
To you.
Do you think just going to Mickey D's and having that meal is equivalent to being at home and cooking your favorite meal with your significant other and eating it together?
And they're gonna say
Let
yes
us know.
because you're with the person you
Look,
care about.
Hey, you can't speak
I-
for them, Jason. Let them speak for themselves.
I want to hear from the ladies on this one. I don't want to hear about
I
the men.
really-
I really want
I
to
really
hear
want to
You can hear
hear.
from
on what the
No,
ladies.
I want to hear from both sides, the men and the women. I want to hear from everyone. What do you
Look.
think is a better, or do you think it's an equivalent
Look, if you
experience?
show up at my house, okay, with 2 pieces of fried chicken, some fries, and some root beer, I'll be happier than a pig in shit. I'm just easy like that. Like, I like to be real.
I get that.
but
That's easy,
but
but
most guys are easy like that.
what's the better experience?
It's
It's not a.
What's the lasting experience?
I'm more of the person like, yeah, it's fine and then to go to a restaurant every now and then. But if I have to look at an experience, think outside the box. Go freaking like skydiving, or ISO, or do something out of the norm.
But that's what I mean. Even that's different. That's a lasting experience. It's something that you and your significant other are gonna do, and you're gonna be like, yo, like, we did this on Valentine's Day. Like, that was fucking dope. And like, you're looking back, it's like there was effort put in for the both of you, where like you planned out something that was fun, exciting, and like different from what everybody else is doing. That
You're
is
comparing
dope
to
as
other
fuck.
people. That's the wrong way to look about it. You can't compare your experience with other stuff that other people are doing. That's different. No, you gotta do it. You gotta stay within your realm. That's what I'm trying to say.
We
If-
get it.
if
Your
you-
realm is Mickey D's.
No, you're thinking you want to compare and to other people. It's not about other people. It's about the person you're with. That's the whole point I'm trying to say. You're doing it with you guys. It's whatever you do. Don't care what other people used to do because, oh, they prefer this or that. No, it's the time
No,
you spend together.
I'm specifically saying what experience I think would be better.
Yeah, but it's the time you spend together, not what you do. It's
Yeah,
not what
and
you
I
do.
would rather spend my time
doing things.
doing something that's
and not spending time with people.
creative and fun and different.
But okay, so listen, everyone. When was the time you talked about his significant other in this conversation that we've had?
What?
Not once. You didn't say anything about your significant other at least once in this conversation. You only
Because I don't have one. I'm speaking to the people who have significant others, giving them
But you
ideas.
haven't said anything about significant other. You talk about only things that they should be doing. That's my point now. You've only said, oh, they can do this, they can do that. What can they do together? I'm
I literally said cooking together. Like, were you not listening?
not that's cooking what? But then after you're saying, oh, then we could think about that, compare. Oh, we did this, we that. No, it's what are you guys doing? You're saying conversation, but what's the conversation about? What?
I think you completely are misunderstanding what he was saying.
Yeah, like, you're
I honestly
completely
think
misunderstanding
you're
what he's saying.
misunderstanding what
I understand what he's saying. It's
What does it matter what they're talking about? Like, I don't get why you're bringing that up.
all I'm saying is that people have the expectations that, okay, this has to be this way or it sucks, or it has to be that way or it doesn't suck. It's like, no, it just has to be, you're spending time together. That's what counts. Because at the end of the day, okay, you could be rich, you could be poor, because like you said, okay, you're cooking a meal together and stuff like that. People might not have the money to like go out and buy groceries for expensive meal, buy wines, all that stuff.
Okay. Once again, I think you're missing what I'm saying, because I'm not talking about like the difference in spending time together. That's not what I said, because what I said is literally you having to spend time together, nor am I saying it's a matter of like going out there and spending money. I was literally just giving an idea of how you can create an experience that is memorable. That's all I'm saying. One experience will 100% be more memorable.
To your, that's what I'm saying.
And I'll say it like this, in a more positive light.
You can't say
essentially.
that because you don't know.
I can't say that.
You can't say that. You
Because
don't know
all
everyone
the
in
time we
world.
hear women talk about putting in a little effort. You going and saying, you know what, I got this great idea. How about we go and like he said ISO. That's a boom ass fucking idea. Let's say you're just like, look, I got a surprise for you. Just get in the car. Let's go. You drive all the way to ISO. She sees it and she's like, dude, this is fucking like, what the fuck is this? And you're like, this is what we're doing for Valentine's. Like, we're going to jump on fucking trampolines. We're going to dunk the fucking ball. We're just going to like, we're going to be fucking kids. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to like leave our stress on the trampolines and you just have the time of your fucking life. Like, that's fucking dope. Or if you do something as simple as like cook a meal together, but during that time that you're cooking, like you're drinking wine, you're having a conversation, maybe you're playing like your favorite music in the background and you're making it a time spent experience. But it's different from the typical, let's go to a restaurant, buy our meal, sit there, spend whatever money, and then walk out. I'm just giving ideas of ways you and your significant other can make that time an experience that's lasting and memorable. So then when you look back, you're like, yeah, on Valentine's Day, this is what we did.
You don't need to. That's my point. My whole larger point to the whole Valentine's Day. You're thinking back too much to that one day instead of that every day.
Well, wouldn't you want to think about the day?
No, I want to think about every day because
you want to have highlights in anything
Valentine's
you do.
Day is not every day. And okay, yeah, you do something romantic one day, cool. You look back on it, cool. It was an experience. But then next day you could have a huge ass argument, and what looked like was so good yesterday, that's completely in the back of your mind. You gotta. That's why I said consistency is always key.
I could do something romantic on July 13th. And then on July 14th, we have a huge argument. What's the point?
But you have to do it every day. But you're putting too much emphasis on that one.
But here's the thing: putting too much effort into something every day.
I'm not saying
at some point.
I'm not saying putting too much
becomes
effort.
regular.
I'm not saying putting too much effort in and every day.
It becomes regular.
But you have to do something consistently. I'm not saying every day you have to do it. Like every day has to be Valentine's Day. I'm not saying that at all. But you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket for that one day,
Nope.
and expect something great.
That's not what we're saying. We're not saying put all your eggs into one basket for that one day. We're literally just acknowledging like this is a day where these things happen. So let's find fun ways for you and your significant other to enjoy it.
I just think
there's nothing wrong with that.
I just think too much of Valentine's Day is just it's centered, and this is why a lot of relationships do fail after Valentine's Day and before Valentine's Day, because either you're not planning enough, people have too high expectations, and instead of making an effort on the rest of the day.
I'm sorry, but
Valentine's Day, birthdays,
I'm just saying,
and funerals are the biggest things to break.
I've never ever heard of a guy saying, "Oh my God, she didn't do anything for me for Valentine's." I've never heard a guy say that.
Oh, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all.
Just saying,
No, I'm not saying that personally.
She better. Okay. I deserve. Okay.
She gonna learn today.
Oh, you didn't reserve the fucking restaurant, bitch? Okay.
I
You think you're getting dick tonight? You can taste this cold shoulder.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm like, I'm more of the mindset that like, everyone has to do their part. And if everyone does it consistently, a Valentine's Day is like an afterthought. Like if people are doing this stuff consistently, people will be like, oh shit, today's Valentine's Day. All right.
Well, I feel like if you're both on top of your shit, and like as far as your relationship goes, you
wouldn't have to worry. Valentine's Day would be another day.
It's a layup.
No, I think it'd be just another day. Not even a layup.
It could feel like just another day if you're on top of your shit.
I think it's just another, but that's the thing. That's consistency.
Because I promise you, there's no girl out there in a relationship who wants to be the one who's like, my guy did nothing on Valentine's Day. And then they're scrolling on Instagram.
That's millennials. That's
all
Jay,
women with Instagram.
You need to come to 2018, bro.
Let me tell you
it's not just
something.
millennials. Let me tell you.
There is no woman on earth who is more bitter than the woman who scrolls Instagram after the holiday where she didn't get the shit she wanted.
This is not Christmas twice.
Just scrolling and seeing her friends, her favorite celebrities,
Okay, look.
even the men.
All right.
So,
Just
what's the
saying.
next topic?
I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. You guys probably saying that, but
I'm just saying.
Nah, look.
too much emphasis planned on one day. That's what I'm telling you. Just too much is on one day.
It's a layup.
It's not a layup.
It's literally a layup.
It should be another day.
I think it should be another day.
It's just
But
another day.
Quite honestly, I just think I
We would
really truly that think.
Look,
that
I
Valentine's
would
is
love for
overrated.
Christmas to just be another day, but it's not.
I don't even remember doing anything on Christmas.
I would
just
love
woke
for
up and-
birthdays to
I
just
just
be
woke
another
up.
day.
To be
but they're
honest,
not.
what I do on Christmas is like I hang with my family. That's what I do on Christmas.
Yeah.
We sit there, we talk, we sit at the kitchen table, or we sit at the living room table. Me and my brother will pull the dominoes.
And
and the
imagine
cards
if
and
on
talk
Christmas
shit.
you did not show up.
Oh, there's numerous times it's happened.
There was always a phone call.
No.
Well, no, it's not. Look,
Not at all.
I live.
We missed you on Christmas.
I'll be
My
like, yeah, I was
God,
sleeping.
Look, when you're in the dating world and you're with somebody for X amount of time, you have to figure ways of splitting Christmas up. So like, 1 year I'll do Christmas with my significant others.
Just
family.
do what I do. Just walk up to the calendar, put a giant X. It's canceled. It doesn't exist.
Like I had to go Christmas. I had to do quite a few Christmases without my kids. It was the hardest shit ever, but it's a fact of life.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to dwell on it. Like, it's just another day. You can't have every holiday be special. If we did, we'd all be broke.
There you go.
Well,
And that's
I'm
why
not
there's a
saying
lot of
spend a lot of money on every holiday.
I'm not saying that either, but you know where I'm going.
And that's what
You
we
know
I
where
can
I'm
have a
going.
lot of fun on a little penny.
That's why we're saying. That's why I said there's a lot of broke people for Valentine's Day because they do all that stuff. They spend a lot of money on days that should be another day, and they come to Valentine's Day and they're broke.
Hey
I
man,
can
if you
see-
want to drop that tax return, I ain't gonna stop you.
I can see a lot of shit right now, but
I don't want to get you in trouble.
thank you.
I mean, shit. The mic is yours.
No, actually, it is yours.
All right. So we'll end this Valentine's Day topic. People won't get mad at me because they know my stance on this for years, so it's cool. Who's gonna get mad at me for this shit?
I literally said nothing.
That's right.
I mean, if they get mad, they get mad.
That's the name of the podcast. Don't be mad. All right, so
See you ring Jason's doorbell tonight. Talk about I need to sleep on his couch.
They're like, Matthew, I love the ideas. You're welcome.
watch it. Last week I'm the voice of reason in the show. I didn't say it. It was Akeem that said
Yeah,
it.
Akeem is not the most reliable person to
Hey.
be calling you the voice of reason. We just put that
That's
out
what people
there.
are saying. The streets know right now. Streets talk, and it's true.
One person.
Don't worry about that one person.
Streets
All right.
be small.
So this is why you can't compliment him. His head gets way too big.
What?
You give him one compliment, he's like, I'm the man. Starts walking around like fucking Vince McMahon. Chest all puffed out. He said it, not me.
Oh, I just want to. This is the last thing I want to bring up for this week's podcast. But I'm not sure if you ever saw. Have you ever saw Cloverfield the movie?
Yes, I did.
Have you seen the second one?
No, I did not.
The third one, the one new on Netflix that
No.
came out? He hasn't seen it. I saw this last Cloverfield movie. A lot of people haven't seen it. It's the most bullshit thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it's Event Horizon and Prometheus, all the bad parts of those movies in one movie. And I'm gonna spoil this for people. I don't care. But the way to fix everything in that whole movie was just to turn back on a machine that they turned off. That was the only. It made absolute, like, the movie is supposed to be in a paranormal world and all that nonsense, whatever paradox. All they have to do is turn back on a machine, and the whole problem would be solved. And they figured that out in the first 30 minutes of the movie. They had to do that, and they couldn't. And they didn't. They chose not to do it for a certain part of the movie. I was like, this is J.J. Abrams. He can't finish Lost. Messed up Star Trek, messed up Star Wars. Like, why do they keep giving him movies and TV shows to ruin? He even his own movie Cloverfield, the first one, I loved. The whole handheld camera with the monster. And
That
stuff.
was good.
I
yes.
loved it. But then after you start taking a shit on his whole thing, in the second movie there's aliens now, and it's supposed to explain the first movie, but it doesn't make any. Oh God, it's just. That's my
I guess
little
that's
rant.
what made Jason
That
mad
would
this week.
piss me off. J.J. Abrams, you're a terrible director.
You know who Jason reminds me of
Stop
right now?
making movies.
You remember Mace's album, The Mad Rapper?
I remind you of Betha.
No, The Mad Rapper.
The
The Mad Rapper.
You remember The Mad Rapper?
Who's the Mad Rapper?
Let me tell you why I'm mad. First of all, don't be.
Whoa. No.
Why you mad, bro?
I'm okay. I'm not that mad though.
Hey man, take a deep breath, man.
It's just that I'm a fan of. I was a fan of the first movie. The second movie I liked until the end, and this one was just absolute bullshit. And I don't like waste my time on something I invest into, and it
No way it
disappoints
does.
me in the end.
But this is Hollywood.
It's true. And
Speaking of movies, word has it that they started recording Bad Boys 3.
Rumor mill?
Rumors had it
I don't
that
wanna
they
see
started
that.
recording
I
it.
don't want to see that. Bad Boys 2 wasn't that great.
Bad Boys 2 was the
Yo,
shit.
Bad Boys 2 was really good.
I
If
didn't-
they got the same writers on deck for Bad Boys 3, I'm with it.
Nah, I did.
Because I mean, like right now, Will Smith, he's been putting out some of the best Instagram posts in the world.
Oh yes.
Like, I honestly like every day I just like check his Instagram. I'll rewatch old videos, like the one where he's talking about fault. Dude, I love that. Like that.
He is a true inspiration.
Yeah,
he is.
Or he like remade his son's video.
That was epic. That was hilarious. That was great. That was absolutely great.
I love that. Yo, because number one, I love that song. Icon is such a like that beat.
The beats.
Fucking
not him.
No, yo, Jaden Smith did his thing on that fucking track. Don't even hate. Yo, why you hate on Jaden Smith, man?
I'm not hating on Jaden Smith. I think he's a better actor than he is a writer, a rapper. And, his acting is not that great, so that lets you know what I think about it.
Man, you're crazy. I love his last album. He put out a dope ass fucking album, man.
I don't know.
But yeah, Will Smith, man, please just keep doing what you do.
We'll see for Bad Boys.
Inspiration.
Let's hope it's good.
It will be.
It will be. It will be.
Let's hope it's good. All right, so
they're 2 for 2, man. Like, go for 3. Make it the trilogy and end it. You know?
Exactly. Go with a bang.
Yeah.
They need to have Blue Streak 2. That's what they need, Martin. Remember Blue Streak 2?
That'd be dope. That would be dope.
The first
that would be fucking dope.
All right, let's end up this this podcast. So, thank you, Alan, for
thank you guys for having me.
You got any announcements?
Tell us where they can reach you, everything like that.
Honestly, you can hit me up on the IG at DJ Nemesis 007, or you can find me at Alan DJ Nemesis Drakes on Facebook.
Nice.
I've been laying low lately. Like
it's winter, man. Everybody's laying low.
Nah, I just been overworked, bro. Like seriously, I've been overworked.
Nah, man, like you're doing your thing. That's good, man. Just keep on your grind and make that money as best you can.
Yes, sir.
Work as much as you can. Anything you want to promote, Matthew, for this week, or anything you have coming up? What are you doing this week?
Promote?
What are you doing this week?
It's winter, so it's like it's stay inside, man. Like I said, man, the only thing I'm looking forward to is Black Panther. Like that's it.
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just gonna go to the gym and just.
Well, that's all I'm doing right now is really much hitting the gym training because this is. I had the brilliant idea to join my crew and do the Spartan race next Victoria weekend. So
nice, do it.
It's
do it.
I just wanted to be able to say I did it.
Do it.
You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna pussy out either. I'm gonna be like, yes, I'm dying on this field, but I'm gonna do it.
I don't know. Well, running and all this kind of stuff was never my kind of thing. Cardio, big heavy cardio stuff was never my kind of thing. I just just more of the weights kind of stuff. But people seem to like it. All that color run and the Spartan challenge, all that nonsense that people like to do. Well, it's cool. If you can get a good challenge out of it, I don't know how much K are you doing? 5K?
5K.
5K? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's not too long or anything like that. I don't know what obstacles you have to go through, but
that's exactly it. Like for me,
it's the obstacles that get you.
It's like I'm training heavily on upper just to be like, okay, you know what? It's just something you want to. It's like something you want to cross off the bucket list. Yeah. Exactly.
Legit, man. No, go for it.
Have fun. I'm sure you'll have fun. Like,
y'all gonna have to carry me home though. Like, I can't drive back.
Call this guy.
Where's the Spartan race happening?
Tremblant.
Yeah, that's too far.
Take an ambulance home.
Way too far.
It's like 45 minutes away.
That's too far.
It's an hour and a half, bro.
Oh, it's beyond.
Tremblant.
Oh,
beyond.
It's
not so far. So far is an hour from here. It's Tremblant.
It's actually on the. Yeah, it's too far.
Yeah, sure. You got to go up.
Far. That's too far. No. But yeah, man, I don't have really much going on, and just you can find me at the same spot, JJNB on Twitter. Same thing on Instagram, and go on the website. Well, not the website, but the Twitter and Instagram for the podcast. Don't Be Mad Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And Matt, tell them your handle and everything.
As always, you can find me on Twitter at LeftyLucky_. You could also find me on Instagram, but I'm not going to say the name. If you find me, you find me. If you don't, you don't. That's how it works.
He doesn't want anyone to find him on
it's just, Instagram's my thing, man. Keep it chill, you know what I'm saying? You don't got to be hitting me up on there.
You do know you could put it private, right?
What the fuck is the point then?
So then why are you
I hate people with private accounts because why are you on here? What are you doing?
I have mine private.
What pictures do you have that are so important that you don't want people to me it's like if you don't want people seeing it, block those people. That's what the block.
So tell them your Instagram.
Don't worry about my Instagram.
Okay, there you go.
if you can find it, then good for you. You're good. If you can't find it,
so why you have it hard for people to find?
It's not hard for people to find.
Okay, so
I'm just
tell
telling
them what it is.
You can find me on Twitter at LeftyLucky_. And then you can find the podcast, Don't Be Mad Podcast, on Facebook, Don't Be Mad Pod on Instagram, and Don't Be Mad Pod on Twitter. Bong bong.
We have to have you back. I think we're gonna have like a group thing and get a whole bunch of people on.
I can think of a couple people you got to get in the same room with me. It'll make it that much more interesting.
Can you name them?
Not right now.
I'll tell us after.
Off script, son. Off script.
Tell us after.
Top five.
All right, everyone. So thank you for tuning in, and be prepared for next week, because I think next week we have a returning guest.
Another 3 weeks in a row with guests?
Yeah. This is
I don't know why you think I like people this much.
this person, just a little teaser. This person, you heard him, and I said him, and he said some outlandish things a lot of people didn't agree with. So just be prepared, because he's gonna bring.
Well, because he was wrong.
That's what people said. No, but just a little tease for next week. So thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you all next week.
Take it easy, everyone.
Peace.